such a sad event, such a horrible thing. And it's happening all too often.
The former president noting the lengthy criminal history of the suspect, who's charged with multiple counts, including murder. He'd been arrested more than 20 times. Diller was shot during a traffic stop. A second suspect, also with multiple prior arrests, faces firearms charges. President Biden is also in New York, arriving earlier today with former President Obama for what's expected to be a record-setting fundraiser, also including former President Clinton in New York City, where pro-Palestinian groups plan protests nearby. A day after the mass stabbing that left 4 dead, 7 injured in Rockford, Illinois, a 22-year-old suspect is arraigned, also accused of using his truck to run over victims. Christian Soto is held without bond. He's heading to prison for fraud, but it could have been much worse for the founder of failed cryptocurrency exchange FTX.
Judge Lewis Kaplan sentenced Sam Bankman-Fried to 25 years in prison. Prosecutors had asked for at least 15 more years than that, saying each crime and each harmed party necessitated a lengthy sentence. Bankman-Fried told the judge he's haunted by the bad decisions he made. He said he apologized for what happened at every stage, but later said that FTX and Alameda Research, his companies, were never bankrupt, that it could have just ended up being an unpleasant few weeks. While the judge noted mitigating evidence of Bankman-Fried's philanthropy, he said his political ambitions and interviews after his arrest revealed an act being put on. He posited that while Bankman-Fried's name has been tarnished, he could commit similar crimes again.
Fox's Jessica Rosenthal, the judge also ordering Bankman-Fried to pay $11 billion in forfeiture. America is listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
A threat against a school. 54 degrees, mostly clear on your radar. I'm Donnie Burgess. Here's what's trending at 3:02. He shared alarming messages on social media.
And now he's sitting in jail. I'm Ryan Hedrick. Carson Cole from Brownsburg posted on Snapchat that he was going to shoot up Tri-West Hendricks High School,
which led many members of the community to be in fear that that man would come to Tri-West High School and carry out a violent and deadly attack.
Captain Amanda Goings with the Hendricks County Sheriff's Office says, which then led investigators straight to Cole, who they arrested on Wednesday night. Ryan Hedrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
About 50 Indiana National Guard troops are heading to Texas to help secure the southern border.
Hoosiers are proving once again, if the federal government at large can't get their act together on the border, we will. You did. You are. You stepped up, and you stepped up for us.
Governor Holcomb speaking at a ceremony at Camp Atterbury. Indianapolis Metro Police will not move forward with the gunshot detection system. IMPD Chief Chris Bailey said in a statement Thursday the department will explore other options that aren't as expensive and have a better track record of success. You're paying an average of $3.45 a gallon for gas today, says AAA. That's down 6 cents from last week. Anderson has the cheapest gas at $2.45. Imagine a highway that could charge your electric car as you drive. That's becoming a reality in West Lafayette as Purdue and the Indiana Department of Transportation begin installing charging panels and wires in US 231.
I would say our goal is just for something like this to be successful, something to, maybe perhaps inspire innovative ideas of other kinds.
Blake Dollier with NDOT says the project should be fully complete by the summer of next year, as long as the weather cooperates. Your time is 3:04. You've got traffic and weather up next.
Your new car, your new truck, your new electric vehicle is at Andy Moore Ford in Plainfield because they've got the deal that can't be beat. All of the new cars and trucks you're looking for and electric vehicles like the all-electric F-150 Lightning with seating up to 5, intelligent backup power, and on-site power for all your tools and gear. This all-electric truck is built for it all. Andy Moore Ford also has the rebates for you. Federal and state incentives. You could save more on your EV purchase, up to $7,500 instantly on site, and save more on all of their cars and trucks, their fleet vehicles, and their electric vehicles. Andy Moore Ford in Plainfield, including more to your door. You can just buy the car online and they will deliver it directly to you. Andy Moore Ford. Visit them on Main Street in Plainfield or online at andymoreford.com. That's Andy Moore, M-O-H-R. I love Andy. andymoreford.com.
With traffic on the 5s at 3:05, here's Matt Bear.
What's happening, Donnie? Looking at northbound 65 at 71st. A semi is off the road in a ditch, and it's stuck, and the left lane is blocked, stopping traffic back to I-465. Delayed time, it's not miserable, but it is 8 minutes at the moment if you're coming southbound, like from the dog leg. Stop and go traffic begins after West 86 down to 71st with their semi. And that's you'll be through that before too long. 4 minutes on that delay right now. Traffic sponsored by U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs. Serve those who served. Apply now for rewarding careers in Marion County and make a difference in rural veteran health care. Visit vacareers.va.gov. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And now your forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center. Cloudy skies tonight, low of 40 degrees. Friday, you'll reach near 70 degrees, and that should last throughout the weekend. I'm Donnie Burgess on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos?
So let's rock it! My name is Nigel. Jason Hammer is out. Jerry Lopez is in. You can find him on all the socials at Indy Spanglish. Jerry, how are you?
Doing great. MLB opening day.
Yeah, and hey, even better, the Republican primary governor debate last night on Wish.
Wah, 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 wah.
You watch any of that?
I watched the highlights.
Yeah, I watched. Look, man, I feel like they all agree with each other on a bunch of stuff, whether it be abortion, you do something about taxes, getting DEI out of corporations and schools. They agree on a lot of stuff, I think. But they seem to, and I don't know if you agree, you saw this last night, they seem to go after Mike Braun, the front runner, a little more vigorously than they had in previous debates or town halls or whatever. Right?
Definitely, but it's a runaway train, right? He's up 30 points according to polling.
And spending a lot of money. Here's Doden going after Mike Braun.
It's hard to trust Mike Braun on this issue when he, in the moment of crisis, said that let's get rid of qualified immunity, let's make it easier to sue police.
And then here is Braun responding after Curtis Hill went after him.
So first of all, Curtis has never signed the front side of a paycheck. He may have run a lemonade stand years ago, but he's been in government. He can tell me what he's done.
I did not run a lemonade stand. Mike has been a legislator. Mike has been a legislator in the State House. He's been a legislator in the United States Senate. That is different than governmental executive leadership.
You learn anything new last night by watching this?
I learned that we have a lot of soft people running for governor.
Soft people?
Soft.
Okay.
Yeah, like I would love to debate somebody because when you're 5'8" and like $180, you better learn how to talk ish real quick. So I can bump my gums. I think that's what's missing. Like people don't really like the Trump factor. When he goes on a debate, you're ready for the zingers.
Boy.
And we don't really get too many gotcha moments, and that's what people remember. In a 10-second clip, social media society,
Exactly.
We're looking for zingers.
That's what we remember. I want an entertaining debate, but that's really not what these things are all about. I really want to know about policy. I have no idea who I'm voting for at this point. I have people that I like. I like Curtis Hill for sure. But I don't know that he has a shot to win.
Well, and they say there's 30+% are just like you, undecided.
So that's a pretty big percentage. And it could go somebody. I know Abdul's got some polling out next week that's going to be pretty revealing. So my favorite moment actually involved Curtis Hill when they were asking all the candidates about the role of DE. First of all, explain what DEI is, real quick, if you can.
So it's diversity, equity, and inclusion. It's forced assimilation, and I, as a minority, take it as in you're lowering the standard for me to allow me to be a part of whatever it is. I coined the term "didn't earn it" for DEI.
Were you part of some program?
I was actually part. I was in the second cohort, and the state of Indiana is the only state that does this. That did do this. I know North Carolina was talking about doing it. But the GOP started the Indiana Republican Diversity Leadership Series.
Yes.
And I was in the second group that's headed up by Whitley Yates and Kyle Humpher. That's their brainchild.
So why is it bad in corporations?
It's
in schools.
Because DEI is not bad. What's bad is when it's a trophy, right? When you're the token. When you're the token, that's a problem. I tell people my race might get me here, but when I show up, I'm knocking the doors down. And I think a lot of times we look at people like Kamala Harris or people like that, and they
Yeah.
get these positions, and we're looking at them going, "You suck."
Well, Joe Biden said it. He was
Based off color.
Yes.
Now,
totally.
if she got picked up based off color, but knocked your socks off, you wouldn't care.
Right. Here is my favorite moment, and the reason why we're talking about DEI. My favorite moment of the debate last night about the role of DEI in corporations and state government. Here is first Suzanne Crouch, Lieutenant Governor under Holcomb, and then Curtis Hill's response.
What should Indiana's role be in DEI programs, and what would you keep the state? Would you keep the state the DEI officer? Ms. Crouch.
DEI is divisive, it's exclusionary, and it is absolutely not inclusive.
Mr. Hill, what should Indiana's role be in DEI programs?
Well, I'm glad that all my opponents have jumped on the bandwagon, because months ago I came out with a proposal that on my first day in office we would eliminate the Office of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion, and we maintain that. It's interesting to me that the Lieutenant Governor is suggesting that DEI is divisive, but it's her administration that has put this position in place.
Ms. Crouch, you were referenced. You have 30 seconds to respond.
No.
No, thanks. Because he's completely right. It was the Holcomb administration that put that program in place.
Well, here's not who did the mask mandates.
Yeah, exactly.
It was just, she was part of the team.
She was part of the team. Didn't have bubkus
She
to
gave
say
her
about
own
it.
team. We got an A or a C. I
I
don't really
just
know.
thought that was so funny. I was hilarious when she goes, "Ms. Crouch, you were mentioned in his rebuttal. What do you have to say?"
No.
So I don't know. I a lot of platitudes, a lot of vagaries.
Now that was the last debate, correct?
There's one at the end of April.
Okay, good.
Not the last debate, but that's kind of what you need to know. They all agree on pretty much a lot of things. They went after Braun. Some disagreed about state income tax. They all mentioned the gas tax, but really nothing. No.
Does anybody disagree on anything that's so big it may take points from Braun? Because if we all agree, I can't steal 30 points.
I know exactly. That's a great point. But speaking of DEI, I want to get to this here. Switch gears. Let's pivot just a little bit. The mayor of Baltimore, his name's Brandon Scott, been really good getting out in front of the bridge collapse in his town, in his city. The cargo ship that collapsed the Key Bridge. I thought he's done a tremendous job of getting out in front of it and speaking to his people, speaking to his constituents about what we're going to do, how we're going to, what process will be moving forward. But now he's alleging white people employ DEI against him. So in other words, the only reason he's the black mayor of Baltimore is because of DEI?
Because he's black. That's my problem with DEI.
It doesn't make,
it makes no sense.
If you're a Republican and you're saying, if you're any sort of conservative, he won that city by over 70%.
Right.
But here he is. I was trying.
You said you didn't want to play this.
I said I know. I didn't want to play it because I don't want to get my blood boiling. And we've been having meetings. We had to have more fun shows, but I couldn't let this go.
So I sent this to Nigel, and Nigel sends me a text and goes, "Why the F would they play this on cable news?
Yeah.
I'm not adding this to the show." We're 10 minutes in. Here we go.
And here we go. He's on Joy Reid's show on MSNBC.
It's a safe space for racists.
Exactly. The cryon underneath him says, "The right plays politics over bridge collapse." Let's have the audio here.
Allow you, Mayor Scott, if you choose to do so, to respond to the tomfoolery and attacks on you for having the nerve to be black and also a mayor.
What?
I know, and we all know, and you know very well, that black men and young black men in particular have been the boogeyman for those who are racist and think that only straight, wealthy white men should have a say in anything. We've been the boogeyman from them since the first day they brought us to this country. And what they mean by DEI, in my opinion, is duly elected incumbent. We know what they want to say, but they don't have the courage to say the N-word.
So anyone who has questions about DEI is a racist, first of all. I don't know what he's talking about. The DEI is like he was not appointed mayor.
The idiots online said he was a DEI. That's my issue is people, anytime you see somebody of color, we say DEI, and that's wrong. DEI would make sense if you sucked at your job, and we don't know that he sucks right now.
Well, he got 70% of the vote.
There you go.
Oh, I just don't know why. I mean, that's not inspiring to me if I was a resident of Baltimore and I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to get to work, or I'm a family of one of the deceased, and he's on cable TV with Joy Reid talking about white people are employing DEI against me.
Yeah, DEI people are not elected; they're selected.
Yeah, thank you. Exactly. So an update on the Baltimore bridge collapse. 2 construction workers were found dead, unfortunately, in their truck there at the bottom of the river, leaving now 4 workers missing, presumed dead as well. Also, this is very strange. Baltimore port worker said the Dolly cargo ship had severe electrical problems just day before it crashed into that Francis Scott Key Bridge. Quote, those 2 days, they were having serious power outages. They had a severe electrical problem. It was total power failure, loss of engine power, everything, she told a CNN affiliate. Boy, if that's the case, that is a problem. Matt Bear has got to look at traffic. What's up?
All right, Nigel, looking at northbound at 65, right around 71st Street. That is a semi off the road into a ditch. They're working on it right now, but the left lane is blocked in the meantime. And in the meantime, traffic is stopped. Back to West 56th Street. If you're coming southbound, stay out of the dogleg from the northwest side. We start to get stop-and-go traffic after 86th Street down to 71st. That's because of rubbernecking. Northbound 465 east side, slow east 56 to 71st. Traffic's sponsored by Mr. Quick. Homes Services now hiring. Mr. Quick is offering a paid apprenticeship to become a heating and AC technician. $17 an hour while learning a trade with 6-figure earning potential. Class starts April 15th. Register at jobs.com. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And no, it's not Friday. I usually come in on Fridays, but do you want to come in right now? So neither Hammer or I will be here tomorrow. You want to come in and do your weekly segment?
Right now?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
All right, brother.
Yeah.
54 and sunny at the American Standard Heating Weather Center, 93 WIBC.
Everyone knows that soaking in Epsom salts can make you feel better. Now imagine soaking in Epsom salts in a Royal Spa hot tub.
Ah, Royal Spa.
Indy Decorative Concrete, by far Indy's best local custom concrete business. I would know. They replaced my sidewalk and porch with something that it blew me away. They took out my basic sidewalk and porch, right? And they turned it into this giant custom sort of stamped concrete area with even more space and an awesome, unique look. So if you're thinking about maybe a new patio, maybe a porch, maybe sidewalk, back deck, IndyDecorativeConcrete.com is who you need to check out. And you know what? You better make your appointment real soon. The earlier, the better. Get on the books. They might be able to work with you a little bit on price since it's still early on in the year. Mark and Jamie are the owners. They'll come out to your house, give you some ideas, and then you'll go out to the showroom where they'll help you pick out a stamped pattern that you like best. The process was so easy, and they're done in 3 days. IndyDecorativeConcrete.com. That's IndyDecorativeConcrete.com. Tell them Nigel sent you.
Indy's biggest party is back. Miller Lite Carb Day, Friday, May 24th, featuring George Thorogood and the Destroyers. With special guests, Gin Blossoms. Miller Lite Carb Day, May 24th at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Concert pit and VIP tickets on sale now at IMS.com.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at getethos.com. That's getethos.com.
Tune in Saturdays 9 to 1 for the Home and Garden Show for advice and fun. Brought to you by Michaelis. Water, storms, fire, and wet basements. Life happens. Michaelis happens to help you through it.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Yeah, my name is Nigel. Jerry Lopez. Find him on X at Indy Spanglish is filling in for Hammer. Also joining us live in studio, Matt Bear, the traffic beast.
What?
I believe it's Ethan and Klopp tomorrow filling in for the Hammer Nigel show since we're both out tomorrow. So I figured we'd bring Matt in here today. as we usually do on Fridays.
I would have missed you guys if I didn't get in here and talk to you for a little bit.
Can I just start off? Let's start off with the solar eclipse, because Governor Holcomb yesterday signed something called a disaster order.
What?
Letting Indiana call on nationwide aid should the upcoming eclipse stress the state's emergency response systems. He's expecting there's hundreds of thousands of visitors. We're on prime viewing for the eclipse, April 8th. But officials anticipate, quote, widespread and significant impacts on Indiana's critical infrastructure systems, including communication, emergency response, transportation. Holcomb said that could cause a technological or other emergency. And what am I missing here?
Nothing. My white friends are going to go crazy on the 8th, dude. Like, I hang out with my brothers. I don't hear about this at all.
Dude, I'm telling you, we're signing emergency orders now. I've seen like other preparedness tips, including, make sure you have plenty of gas, make sure you have groceries, make sure you have cash.
Don't go blind by looking at the sun.
Right, there's that.
Bread and water.
Do you have some thoughts on the impending eclipse here? Because I'm getting all these warnings. I'm like, what do they know that I don't hear?
Here's what I'm expecting. Since this has been grilled into my head for about 2 months now, this solar eclipse. I mean, everybody has been talking about it and tweeting it like it's going to be something more than it is. And maybe it is. Maybe it'll be the end of the world. Who am I to say? Who am I to say? But I'm expecting to start pulling up cameras and just seeing like lines and lines of cars just stopped in the middle of the interstate.
That's what the Indiana State Police keep
everybody
saying.
Looking up and being like, "Oh no, the sun's gone!" But in reality, it's the eclipse. But I worry a little bit about traffic and people pulling over onto the shoulders. That could cause a problem. So either I say we all do it or we don't do it. We either all pull over to the shoulder or we just keep driving down the interstate, but let's make a decision on it.
Definitely tune in the traffic on that day.
Yeah, right. I mean, how long does it last? Does anybody
3 minutes?
3 or 4 minutes?
Total darkness, they said.
Even if it's overcast? I mean, if it's overcast, it's still going to be dark. There's people that have no idea what's going on. There's going to be uninformed people that just don't have a clue as why is it pitch black in the middle of the day? What's going on? And, freaking out. Do you think there's anyone that's going to be like that?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Even if you're informed, if that thing goes like 3 minutes and 1 second, people are going to lose their minds. They're going to lose their head. What if it's an all-afternoon thing? Maybe it's overcast. And you get just like a piece of the eclipse, and then the clouds come. They're like, there goes the sun. We're all going to die.
I wonder what it's going to be like if you're flying straight through Indiana. That'd be kind of cool.
I'd like to skydive. That'd be fun. A little skydive.
Can't see anything. All of a sudden it shows up.
Yeah, right.
Oh boy!
There's a drop zone.
So what's going to be worse, the solar eclipse or your colonoscopy?
Oh, it's going to be the colonoscopy. Absolutely.
They're both going in the darkness. You know what I mean?
Boom. I'm thinking. I scheduled my first colonoscopy appointment.
Good for you.
And what is 45 years old, right?
Yeah.
And I'm going to be 46 when I have it. Now, at first, I'm kind of worried that
I don't want it. This is the tube, not the finger, right? I'm not there yet.
The finger's a prostate.
Okay.
But they have blood tests now that they can test for your prostate.
Yes.
But the colonoscopy is the camera.
Okay. So
what all do you need to know? Because I had mine last year.
Well, first off,
my first one. What do you need to know?
Even though I've scheduled my appointment, can I? Is this something I can do from home, or do I really have to go and talk to a doctor about it? Because if I can do it from home, I'll just get an enema kit and maybe it'll plop out. Just kind of drop onto the floor. Whenever I might have it.
No, I would suggest going to the doctor.
Going to the doctor. I can't self-diagnose.
I didn't have to go for a consultation. I just did all mine over the phone, and they sent me everything that I needed to clear out my system the night before
You don't have a beer bong in the back of your car?
Yeah, I used to.
Yeah, not anymore. With the sobriety podcast, I think they look down on beer bongs.
This is the first thing my partner Ryan Hendrick said to me. Take the beer bong out of your trunk. You're crying out loud. We can't do a podcast like this.
The prep is always worse than the actual procedure because I didn't even lay in my bed. I slept pretty much on the couch because of Miralax and Dulcolax and all the
all the lax.
You got all the lax.
So you're just going back and forth to the bathroom all night?
Oh yeah. Because you got to drink I forget how many ounces of liquid. It's like drinking 12 Gatorades or something like that. 12 bottles of Gatorade, but they're all mixed in with the stuff that and you can't eat for like 24 hours.
Well, the eating part I can survive, but it's about all this liquid. It sounds like I'm trying to skirt a drug test or something, you know. I'm trying to peak.
So and then you'll have to have somebody take you to the place where you're going to get the colonoscopy and somebody to pick you up. Do you have a good buddy? Do you have a colonoscopy buddy?
Well, actually, it's funny you mentioned this because Tony Kansas producer Carl volunteered several weeks ago because he was worried about me getting a colonoscopy, and because I said on the air I haven't done it yet. He actually came from this studio to my studio, the traffic center. And he said, Matt. And he was very serious when he was looking at me, you know, just completely deadpan. He said, if you need a ride from the doctor, I will take you.
That's awesome.
I'm like, thank you, Carl. That's the nicest thing anybody's ever done for me. So, yeah, I'm going to tell Carl, and he's going to be there on July 16th because he offered, and he's going to take me after all these horrible things happened to me.
With a trash bag over that passenger seat, just in case.
Now, and then, like, these places that do these, where are you going, Eskenazi? I mean, this is like a division, like, of IU Health that I went to. They're like... It's like a cattle call. That's all they do all day long. In, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in and out. For patient after patient, colonoscopy after colonoscopy after colonoscopy.
So it's like the factory service of colonoscopies, very much.
Right, exactly.
I think it's Mooresville or something like that. I don't know. I need to check on that and make sure. But
so you get in the room, you get your clothes off, you put the apron on. I can't even remember if I had an IV, and then you know, they roll you in there. You turn on your side. Doctor introduces yourself. The anesthesiologist is in there. I think there's an anesthesiologist in there. And it's how did Michael Jackson die? Propofol?
Yeah.
That's what they give you.
Oh, okay. So I get the drug that killed Michael Jackson in there. This is terrific.
Hammer always theorized that it was going to be Conrad Murray that was my doctor. They reinstated him. Maybe we'll get the dosage right this time.
No Kenny G, no glass of wine, none of that.
No, nothing. But I was like, they were just talking to me normal, and you know, no countdown or anything. And all of a sudden, I was just.
So I had shoulder surgery, only surgery I've ever had 2 years ago. Go in, they give me all this stuff, and she goes, "We're gonna give you just a little." I woke up with a sling on. No clue what happened.
Yeah.
Don't remember the ER. Don't remember anything.
If I get my colonoscopy, will I wake up with a sling on?
No, I think
something else happened.
You better hope not.
Something else happened while I was out. How did they come back? I mean, how did it come
I kind of just came to when I wasn't even in a room. I was like in a area between two hanging sheets.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Were you negative? I mean, negative?
I had 3 polyps, and she removed all of them, and they were all non-cancerous.
Okay.
So, but because I had 3, now I got to go back. Usually the standard is 5 to 10 years. I got to go back in 3 years and do it all over again.
Okay, 3
So
years.
you'll be good.
Okay.
You'll be all right, buddy.
No, I'm already. I mean, seriously. I mean, I was thinking about what can I do before this to, you know, make it like so. I have a better colon when I go in.
And you're gonna. I feel like propofol too is not like you're not gonna be like I wanted to go back to work that day. No. You're gonna want to. You're gonna kind of feel like you could go to work, but no, you probably go back home and go to bed.
Okay.
There'll be an issue if you wake up and there's a bowl and there's like your old car keys, your old remote control.
Yeah, somebody writes.
I was looking for that.
Lipstick on the mirror that says "Call 911."
I finally got around to episode 3 of your podcast with Ryan Hedrick from the newsroom, Supporting Sobriety.
Cool, man.
And that was the enabler.
Yes, that was
an enabler. Or I listened to 2 of them, 3 and 4.
We had one on intervention.
Intervention, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So tell us about the podcast and how it's doing. I mean, I'm sitting there listening, and it's like there's commercials in the middle of it and crap, and like I'm like, man, you guys are blowing up.
It's really cool. It allows me a chance to. I mean, this podcast Supporting Sobriety isn't for guys like Ryan and I. Ryan, a recovering addict, me, a recovering alcoholic. It's for guys like you, you know, who have dealt with this, you know, that we've traumatized, that you put up with our awful behavior, but yet loved us enough to bring us back, you know, from the abyss. So that's what the podcast is.
Let's play. Can you want to set up this clip of you here?
Sure. Yeah. This was at the beginning of one of our recent episodes on mental health, because mental health goes so far. Anyways, we can go and play. Yeah.
The thing was, I was so self-loathing, and I would drink to cover that up. I mean, there were times I absolutely hated myself. When I moved to the city, from the rural areas. I was filled with wonderment, but my poor mental health followed me, and it led to a binge that lasted nearly a decade. In that time, my behavior while drinking became even more adolescent and deteriorated. I started getting kicked out of bars on the regular, usually for being too drunk to be served or falling asleep in a corner until the bar closed.
Jeez.
Before too long, I'd become 86th or kicked out from half of the bars in one of the city's most popular spots for nightlife, places that are really hard to get kicked out of. I remember leaving one of them yelling, "This is no way to treat people," and I felt shame about it, but laughed it off the next day because, hey, at least I got attention. I still hated myself, so I drank harder, but today is different. I address my mental health issues. I'm not perfect, but I am sober, and that's thanks to you, helping me one day at a time.
That is Matt Bear with his heart on his sleeve there on his Supporting Sobriety podcast. And I know we got to catch the news here, but it's not just you guys telling your sad stories, right? You guys, your stories, they're in there, but this is really for people that are have relatives or friends that are dealing with addiction, and you have experts on as well, right?
Yeah.
Interventionists, and you have some great interviews on there as well.
Thank you. It's really a blessing, and I hate hearing that. And I hate. I mean, I'm really embarrassed right now. I'm a little bit embarrassed.
That's what you open yourself up, man.
Well, it's totally cool, and we want action steps for people, that the people behind the people helping guys like us.
Where can people find it?
At sobriety_pod. That's on Twitter, on Instagram. We're having a lot of fun on both.
And then on iTunes, just type in Supporting Sobriety.
Yes,
right?
yes. Your favorite podcast provider is Spotify, iTunes. We're everywhere.
Matt Bear, have a good one, man. I appreciate it. We'll get you back in the WIBC traffic here in just a few minutes, and got the news next.
Do you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt or personal loans? With credit card debt at all-time highs, Debt Relief Advocates is urgently notifying consumers of debt relief now being made available, designed to aid consumers with out-of-control credit card debt. Those who qualify and enroll for this relief program will only have to pay back a fraction of what they owe. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. This is a relief program that credit card companies would rather you not know about, as it ends your debt nightmare and saves you lots of money. Consumers owing at least $10,000 in credit card debt or personal loans can now take advantage of this debt relief as the cost of living skyrockets. Debt Relief Advocates has established a relief hotline for you to call to learn what debt reduction you may qualify for, so don't wait. For this free information, call the Relief Hotline at 800-888-5226. 800-888-5226. 800-888-5226.
Cancer's worst gets our best. Franciscan Health is a national leader in treating colorectal cancer, achieving the highest standards in cancer care. With accredited programs, board-certified oncologists, and fellowship-trained colorectal surgeons, Franciscan Health is focused on your future, offering the most advanced treatments and latest clinical trials that are no match for colorectal cancer. Meet colorectal cancer's toughest opponent at franciscanhealth.org/colon-cancer-care. That's franciscanhealth.org/colon-cancer-care.
Denny Smith here from my friends at Sundown Gardens in Westfield. The nursery's stocking up for a big spring. How about you come shop to see their early selection at Sundown Gardens in Westfield? You'll be happy you did. Sundown Gardens wants to make sure you have all the best Easter decor, and this week all Easter decor is 50% off in the garden shop. Happy Easter from Sundown Gardens. Sundown Gardens is at 186th Street and Spring Mill Road in Westfield. SundownGardens.com. Sundown Gardens is closed on Easter Sunday.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
How Indiana works into the border problem. You've got 55 degrees. I'm Donnie Burgess. Here's what's trending at 3:33. About 50 Indiana National Guard troops are heading to Texas to help secure the southern border.
Hoosiers are proving once again, if the federal government at large can't get their act together on the border, we will. You did. You are. You stepped up, and you stepped up for us.
Governor Holcomb speaking at a ceremony at Camp Atterbury. Texas officials say migrants are finding another way across the border near some schools in New Mexico.
The fire chief here tells us that more and more they're having to put school campuses on lockdown because of border patrol activity that's going on nearby. Officials say, in fact, there have been 2 of these incidents just in the last week. Yesterday, the middle school was put on lockdown for about 20 minutes as a small group of 6 migrants migrants were apprehended by agents. The fire chief says the illegal crossings often happen in the morning because, get this, smugglers try to blend in with traffic as parents are coming and going, dropping off students. Authorities say Sunland Park has become an ideal location for this criminal activity because it's just across the state line in New Mexico, and essentially the Texas razor wire fence trails off out of El Paso, pushing traffic further out this way.
That's Fox's Casey Stiegel reporting. A former Hoosier student is facing criminal charges.
Carson Cole used to go to Tri-West Hendricks High School, and for whatever reason this week, he sent a Snapchat message saying that he was going to shoot up the school. Late last night, the police caught up with him.
And he was transported to the Hendricks County Jail, where he is currently being held without bond for the criminal offense of intimidation.
Captain Amanda Goings with the Hendricks County Sheriff's Office. There's no threat, but still, school is canceled for a couple of days. Ryan Hedrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Electric charging panels will be installed in part of US 231 in West Lafayette beginning Monday. It's one step closer to making it easier to charge electric cars, says Blake Dollier with the Indiana Department of Transportation.
This is a dynamic wireless power transfer system that we're using a test pilot on to hopefully be able to take these vehicles and be able to wirelessly transfer that as it goes down the road.
The project should be wrapped up by summer 2025. Your time is 3:35. Traffic and weather coming up in 1 minute.
Hi, I'm Kay Diener. 34 years ago, my husband Bill and I joined TAB after hearing about its community involvement, service opportunities, and welcoming nature of the congregation. I have always liked volunteering and helping others, and at TAB, I found many ways to do both. Over the years, I've had the privilege of serving as a deacon, an elder, a tutor, Sunday school helper, member of the Media and Children's Ministries committees, as well as other areas when able. In so doing, I have witnessed the caring hearts of others who selflessly share their love of Christ and TAB. I'm Kay Diener, and I invite you to come to TAB and see for yourself.
Tabernacle Presbyterian Church, 34th Street and Central Avenue in Indianapolis, invites you to worship Sunday morning at 8 or 10 a.m. If you can't make it in person, tune in to Sunday with Tab, Sunday mornings at 6:30 on WIBC, or find us online at tabpres.org.
With traffic, here's Matt Baer.
All right, Donnie. Hey, Greenfield 9 just closed north of 70, both directions. This is State Road 9 shut down from I-72 County Road 300 north and a little bit beyond here. This is because of a crash. All lanes are blocked. A reroute is going to be necessary. Emergency crews are on the scene. Now, still in Hancock County, eastbound 70 stops at 200 west out to Fortville Pike. In the metro, northbound 465 stop and go Penn Pike up to East 56. Still an awful delay in Pike Township because of a semi off the road. It is in a ditch, blocking the left lane on northbound 65 at West 71st. At northbound 65 is 71st traffic jammed past West 56th Street. Traffic sponsored by Royal Spa. Everyone knows that soaking in Epsom salts can make you feel better. Now imagine soaking in Epsom salts in a Royal Spa hot tub. RoyalSpa.com. Royal Spa. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And now the forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
We'll be mostly cloudy for tonight with the potential for a few sprinkles with lows in the low 40s. Then for Friday, we're in for a marvelous and bright day to end the work week with highs in the upper 60s. Rain chances will return by late Friday night. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Stephen Deanna for 93 WIBC.
And I'm Donnie Burgess on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
1, 2, 3, let's go! You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
My name is Nigel. Jerry Lopez filling in for Hammer. Allison, are you getting in on this too? Are you a vitamin taker, Allison?
I do take vitamin D.
Vitamin. How about you, Jerry?
No. All natural.
No, nothing. No vitamins.
No.
I'm on a daily regimen. Vitamin C, vitamin D, and zinc. Dose of zinc. So C, D, and zinc. And I never took vitamins before until COVID happened, and then my wife got it real bad. She was like November of 2020. Oh. Like she got the OG COVID. So I talked to my doctor, and I can't remember if he even prescribed or anything, but he said, and start immediately if you don't want to, if you that we didn't have the vaccine back then, not that it did anything anyway, but he goes, start taking vitamin D, vitamin Z, and vitamin D and zinc every day. And so for 4 years, That's what I've been doing every day, and apparently it's not making a lick of difference. This Northwestern medicine scientists say that healthy Americans, vitamins are a waste of money. There isn't enough evidence to they help prevent cardiovascular disease or cancer. And my response to that when I saw this thing, this is like, okay, a doctor said, quote, patients ask me all the time, what supplements should I be taking? They're wasting their money and focus thinking there has to be a magic set of pills that will keep them healthy when we should all be following the evidence-based practices of eating healthy and exercise. Okay, that makes sense. But like, I thought the purpose of these vitamins, especially specifically the ones I'm taking, like they help boost your immune system. Am I wrong there?
Vitamin D does. I know that.
Right? And so they based this on a review of 84 different studies. There was insufficient evidence that taking multivitamins, paired supplements, or single supplements can prevent cardiovascular disease and cancer. Well, I have simvastatin for that, for the cardiovascular stuff.
So my trick is I treat my body as bad as normal, as bad as I can, right? Smoke heaters and everything. So that when disease shows up, we're not even worried. We're not even worried.
Is that what happens?
We're built for this.
Well, I knew Jerry disappeared right after Pizza Day today here in the office. I knew exactly.
Chase it with a heater.
Nothing like a smoke after a meal, as they say on the movie Stand By Me. But, I mean.
That's new. I mean, that's kind of wild.
I haven't been. Since 2020, I haven't been that ill. There's been a couple days I've had a fever. I did get COVID. You had to come fill in for me.
And I got COVID.
And you somehow blame me for your COVID.
And then I got COVID.
Yeah.
Just thought what
Patient zero right here in the office.
Wow, you guys really know how to lay it on thick, don't you? But I mean, even then, I spent kind of a day in bed with a fever for 6 hours, and then the second round of Tylenol, the fever was gone. So, but other than that, I haven't, like I used to, when I got sick, I'd much rather have COVID than the flu.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, like the last time I had the flu, I think I was the flu, is October of 2019. And I mean, I was out the entire week, plus the weekends. And I came back that next Monday, and my boss pulled me aside. He goes, you look awful. Are you sure you're okay? Like, I'd so much rather have COVID than the flu. It's not even funny. But apparently, all the money I've spent on these vitamin supplements don't work. Never underestimate. By the way, I do work out too.
You're doing too much, Nigel. You're doing way too much.
There's something to be said for eating right. Yeah, good cardio. Does anybody take, besides fish oil? Jake Query was telling me last week that he had a heart attack. Yeah. And he was telling me, one of the things he uses is fish oil. He says that's good for cardiovascular health. I'm not a doctor. He ain't a doctor. He knows surgeons. That's what they said.
Is that in a fish fillet?
Yeah, all right, fish oil.
Maybe I'm getting it.
One fish fillet per day for McDonald's. Is Judge Judy still on the air anywhere?
Does anybody know? I have a job, so I don't know. Ask your friend that doesn't work.
Allison, type that in real quick because speaking of exercise, she's 81 years old and works out a total of 10 hours a week. Now, that I got to be honest with you, that's more than I work out, right? She's 81 years old.
It's 2 hours a day.
Show came to an end in 2021, so very recently.
Wow, she was doing it well into her late 70s, and for anybody, I mean that's an hour a day, right?
I mean it's 2 hours a day if she's going Monday through Friday. That's a lot.
I mean, look, I suggest everybody go to Exercise Inc., where I go. It's a 20-minute workout. It's strenuous. It's not easy, but it gets it gives my body like the physical like movement that it needs. I love it, and I hate when I have to miss it, but it's once a week for 20 minutes. This 81-year-old's working out for 10 hours a week. Anybody think Joe Biden's doing that?
Joe Biden works out when he's tired to tie his shoelaces. So here's my trick to stay healthy, right? I play darts 4 times a week.
Sure, you got to keep that throwing
arm. So my right arm is nice. It's completely in shape. And then I just go places where people are in worse shape than me. Then I feel better.
When I was doing mornings at the rock station back in the early 2000s, I'd wake up 5 o'clock in the morning, get home at 10:30, go to bed until noon, and my buddies that didn't have a job would come over, and we'd drink beer and play darts all day long in the garage in the summer.
Yeah.
Greatest summer of my life, actually.
Boom.
But after a couple of days, my right elbow and arm was so sore. Do you get over that soreness? I haven't played darts forever. I just remember not being able to move.
I worked through it.
Yeah, right. Okay. Anybody want to hear a Karen in a kayak? I retweeted this earlier. This is in Australia, I believe. A family in Australia was laid into by a Karen in a kayak. They said these people in this, but they were in a boat. She was in a kayak in some lake, and then she's just laying into him, cussing him, MFing him, right? And then at the end, she tries to splash him with water, and she falls over into the ocean.
Nigel, I'm just going to tell you right now, it's a little early in the day, but this is the whitest thing I've heard today. Karen in a kayak rolls up talking trash, and it tries to splash some people?
Yeah, and then she rolls over. Karma, she's in it. All right, let's hear the audio.
God works fast.
Hello, guys. Just letting you know that this sucker was doing 24 knots up the creek.
Was it 24? Where's your radar?
Where's my radar?
Yeah.
It's 4 knots
Come
up
on,
the
you
creek,
said I was
brother.
doing 24. How many
4 knots
knots
up
is
the creek.
problem, Karen?
No, I do have a problem, mate.
Yeah.
Breaking the rules, and you're being a sucker about it.
How am I? I just sat here and have a chat. You're the one yelling, mate.
I just like to do the right thing, and when you come
Yeah.
taking
You got
out
nothing
everyone in
better
their
to do.
Christmas
Nothing
presents.
better to do to take the fun away from every. Oh, that's it.
Down she goes.
At Hammer and Nigel, scroll down a few posts. You can see that footage. Instant karma. That is funny. And I will reference the Shane Gillis stand-up comedy special on Netflix called Beautiful Dogs. If you haven't seen that, it's hilarious. He's got this bit about Australian accents and how they're funny no matter what and in what situation you're in. It's so awkwardly inappropriate. But check it out if you haven't seen the Shane Gillis stand-up special. Okay, we're coming back. It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Business. It's all the things that keep this world turning. And behind every one of these companies is a partner helping to keep it all moving. It's why the local flower shop and your favorite pizza joint, the startup and the stadium, hospitals and hotels, banks and restaurants nationwide all choose the advanced network, cybersecurity solutions, and round-the-clock trusted partnership from Comcast Business, the company that powers more businesses than anyone else. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
See why Comcast Business powers more small businesses than anyone else. Get started with fast speeds and advanced security for $49 a month for 12 months with a 2-year contract when you add one unlimited mobile line. Plus, ask how to get up to an $800 prepaid card with a qualifying gig bundle. Don't wait. Call to switch today. Ends 5/6/24. Restrictions apply. New customers only with 100 megabits per second internet and security edge. EcoBill and autopay required. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra.
Greetings from R&R Agency, your Indiana health insurance pros, and a sincere thank you to our loyal customers for helping make us national sales leaders for the 7th year in a row. We continue to save our new clients 30 to 40% when compared to their current ACA, short-term, COBRA, or small group programs. Breaking news. On July the 7th, President Biden signed an executive order outlawing short-term health plans. If you're on a short-term plan or just unhappy with your present coverage, call Terry or Ron at 317-563-0868 or go to rragency.org. That's 317-563-0868 or rragency.org. If you don't call us, we can't help you. Our coverages are guaranteed to age 65 with zero deductible and zero copay options, all on the largest network in the country. Give us a call. What the heck you got to lose? As always, God bless America, or at least what's left of her.
My brother never checks on Dad. Or, my sister won't make time to take Mom to the doctor. Are these things you've heard yourself say? This is Tina McIntosh, president of Joy's House and co-host of the Caregiver Crossing radio program. I have a caregiving tip for you. Stay tuned.
At Cardon Senior Living Communities, you'll find our teams share a commitment to enhancing the lifestyle and well-being of the people we serve every day at every stage of life.
Expressing anger or resentment toward unsupportive siblings can cause unmendable rifts in relationships. Don't try to control everyone else. You can only control yourself. The success of your caregiving journey does not rest on others. So enjoy the time with your loved one. This is your special time with them. More tips like this are available anytime at caregivercrossingradio.org. With new weekly content created by Joy's House and distributed in partnership with Network Indiana, we're an on-air and online support group for Hoosier family caregivers. Hear conversations with experts, access a library of online education, and more at caregivercrossingradio.org.
Indy's leader in patio installation is now offering a new driveway package. Schedule a free estimate today at IndyDecorativeConcrete.com. That's IndyDecorativeConcrete.com.
Everyone knows that soaking in Epsom salts can make you feel better. Now imagine soaking in Epsom salts in a Royal Spa hot tub.
Ah, Royal Spa.
Matt Bear, what's going on with traffic?
All right, Nigel, northbound 65 in Pike Township is stopped from, well before West 56th Street from Lafayette Road up to 71st because of a semi off the road. It's into the left ditch. The left lane is blocked, therefore the stop traffic. And the late time is now 31 minutes if you're at the back of the line. Southbound lanes, a little bit of rubbernecking going on there in the same area. Greenfield State Road 9 is shut down both directions north of I-70 at 300 north. That's because of a crash. And if you're coming from Indy to Greenfield, eastbound 70 stops from 400 west out to Fortville Pike. That's several miles of stopped traffic. I consider using US 40 to State Road 9 at least until 9 closes north of 70. Traffic sponsored by Indy Decorative Concrete. Indy's leader in patio installation is now offering a new driveway package. Schedule a free estimate today at IndyDecorativeConcrete.com. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Oh, man, getting a little warmer. 55 and sunny at the American Standard Heating Weather Center on 93 WIBC.
You set them up and I'll knock them back, Lloyd. One by one.
We are Curry Booze News, because it's really fun.
Once it hits your lips, it's so good.
Nigel presents
Booze News, Booze News. Time for Booze News. Yeah, I'm Nigel. Jerry Lopez filling in for Hammer. I guess grocery stores at this time of year, it's like an annual thing where they reshuffle the alcohol aisle to give more space to the top sellers, which means fewer feet of shelf space for, you guessed it, Bud Light, who has really never fully recovered from the backlash with its collaboration with that guy who pretends to be a 13-year-old girl, Dylan Mulvaney. Is that his?
That guy in woman face?
Yeah, right. So experts are saying, or estimating that Bud Light is likely to lose as much as 15% shelf space, which is, it's a main leading indicator of retail success, Jerry, is how much shelf space. Meanwhile, Coors Light, Miller Lite, those brands have kind of gone through the roof, and Bud Light's lost a lot of money.
Yeah, I think one of the things that a lot of people forget, though, is Anheuser-Busch is still doing okay. Like Bud Light,
exactly.
Bud Light. So you might have switched from Bud Light to a different Anheuser-Busch product.
You didn't never know it, right? And here's something else that I thought was funny. I listened to the Joe Rogan podcast with Kid Rock. Kid Rock talked to the Anheuser-Busch. Remember the days after the Dylan Mulvaney thing, Kid Rock came out with a video and shot up a bunch of pallets of Bud Light with his AR-15, and he got a lot of crap for that. And he ended up talking. One of the stories he tells on Rogan is how he ended up talking to the guys, the American CEOs there of InBev, I guess, is the corporate global leader. But anyway, he talked to the American CEO. They became buddies, and as a joke, they sent him 2 full pallets of Bud Light out to his house in Nashville. He says, it's like tens of thousands of dollars worth of Bud Light now. And he gives them to all his buddies and stuff. Still sells it at his bar. He I think it was Kid Rock actually was pictured in his own bar that he has in Nashville drinking a Bud Light.
Yeah, it's and Bud Light turned around and did the deal with Dana White and UFC, and they're trying to do a whole rebrand. But it's crazy that this is still going on. I mean, we literally just made a joke before we started. Guy has a refrigerator here and it has Bud Lights.
No,
and I said I was going to take a picture of it, send it to him, and tell him we need to talk. So this is still a thing.
This is so yesterday. So Guy Relford, the gun guy, he has a weekly show Saturdays here on 93 WIBC. Is very excited, very pleased to have finally, after 9 years of service here in this building, he's gotten his own cubicle. So he's got his own cubicle back there. There's multiple monitors and screens, and there's his,
Put a picture up.
He's got a picture. He's got his own printer back there. And then on the other end is a little mini fridge shoved underneath the cubicle. I open it up. It's full of Bud Lights. He walked in here yesterday. He walked in here and gave me and Hammer 2 Bud Lights, and we drank them on the air.
Of course you did.
I'm not going to turn down. I don't like the taste of Bud Light. I never bought it because it had a problem with their influencer, their trans influencer.
Do you feel different after drinking? Do you feel different?
No. No, stop being facetious.
This whole time I thought you went to the women's restroom because ours was messed up.
Speaking of that, I don't know what happened in the men's and women's restroom on this floor today.
It's a flood.
A flood of feces. I mean, like gushy, gooey, like I believe the word Allison used was sloshing.
Who is prepping for their colonoscopy?
Did you happen to go back there at all, Allison, and see that, or you were kind of late to the party for that?
I was warned just not to. And our listeners know we complain about the unisex bathroom all the time. Well, now we all on this floor, which includes sales, some Telemundo people, the fan, and WIBC in the newsroom, we all get to share this one unisex bathroom. So that'll be interesting.
And you know what? Ever since Emma sold us to Radio 1, the perfect bathroom that I love to go to in this building is on floor 3. And that sign outside on the bathroom says this bathroom is closed, but you can use... my key card doesn't get me to the 3rd floor anymore.
Doesn't get anyone to 3rd floor anymore.
I know, you tried, didn't you? You tried to get to the 3rd floor, and that's Jerry. I don't know.
I was about to say, is there executive toilets I don't know about?
There's just it's like just there's nobody ever goes to this floor.
Okay.
And it's basically, I don't know what the function of the floor is. You can walk across to the bank on that floor, but there's right outside the elevator. There's a set of men's and women nobody ever uses.
Okay.
It's best when you have to do the
make
thing.
deposits.
We have to sit down.
Yeah.
All right, coming up, it's a big Thursday. We have the results of Meltdown Madness, Tommy Lasorda versus Bobby Knight. We'll find that out at 4:35. Coming up at 5 o'clock, Breitbart London Bureau Chief Oliver Lane talking about what happened at the bridge, the collapse, the latest with the cargo ship in Baltimore. You might be wondering, why is the guy in London calling about the bridge in Baltimore? He knows tons.
London Bridge is falling down.
Yeah. Well, jeez, I walked right into that one. And yes, Rob Kendall going off the rails at 5:30 on the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Do you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are high interest payments becoming too much to bear? Luckily, there's a way for consumers struggling with over $10,000 in credit card debt or personal loans to significantly reduce the amount they owe if they qualify. Qualifying for this debt relief program, which the credit card companies prefer to keep secret, will only require you to pay back a fraction of what you owe with one affordable monthly payment. You don't have to file bankruptcy or need a debt consolidation loan. Consumers can now take advantage of this financial debt relief during the current economic downturn and rising inflation. If you owe $10,000 or even $500,000 in credit card debt or personal loans, call the Debt Relief Advocates Helpline now for this free information and to see if you qualify. Call 800-515-1865. 800-515-1865. Again, that's 800-515-1865.
Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare information guide absolutely free. Call 800-919-3200. That's 800-919-3200. 800-919-3200.
Dads happen. There's a whole lot of stuff that can mess up the look of your vehicle. Don't paint your car. Go PDR with Kill a Dent Removal. PDR is paintless dent removal that saves your factory finish and is way less invasive than traditional body shop repairs. And it's faster too, sometimes same day. Google Kill a Dent Removal and check out the reviews and photos. Then schedule your repair. Hail baseballs, kids, fender benders, shopping carts, flying cows, angry X's, and anything else that leaves dents. Don't paint your car. Go PDR with Kill a Dent Removal.
Come on, Indy. Don't use the spring to paint your house year after year. Do what Deanna did. She called Rhino Shield.
I was noticing some cracks and the paint's faded. I was like, okay, I think I should get my house painted. So my neighbor had a Rhino Shield placard in the yard. And after they were finished, I was just, wow. With the warranty and everything, it just seemed silly not to go that route.
The ceramic coating of Rhino Shield is specifically formulated for our climate.
So the Rhino Shield crew came out. Nothing was damaged in the process. I was very happy. They just didn't leave a mess. You couldn't couldn't even tell they were there. And the house looked so different. It just looked like a new home.
Backed by a 25-year transferable warranty. And now get the protection of Rhino Shield for 15% off the regular price.
Rhino Shield, I think it increases the value and the curb appeal of your home. Definitely worth it.
Here's Rhino Shield's Shane Smith.
This offer is limited, so call me at 888-RHINO-41. That's 888-RHINO-41.
Don't paint.
Don't vinyl.
Go Rhino.
Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Coming up in 2 minutes, a former student has been arrested for threatening his old school. A man involved in a mall shooting last year has been sentenced. And Ryan Hedrick reports on Indiana troops heading to Texas. Those stories and more next from the Technology Recycler Studios. You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's now 4 o'clock.
A slain officer is honored. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. Thousands of mourners expected at the wake for Jonathan Diller, the 31-year-old New York City police officer shot during a traffic stop. Former President Trump paying his respects to the family at the start of a wake in Diller's hometown on Long Island and speaking to reporters as he left.
Stephanie was just incredible. Their child, brand new, beautiful baby, sitting there innocent as can be, doesn't know how his life has been changed.
The Tunnel to Towers Foundation pledging to pay off the family's mortgage. 2 suspects are charged in Diller's death, both with lengthy criminal records. A very different scene in New York City, where President Biden and former Presidents Obama and Clinton will attend a star-studded fundraiser. The Biden campaign says will raise a record $25 million, while outside, pro-Palestinian groups plan to protest the president's Mideast policies. A mass stabbing suspect appears in court in Illinois a day after 4 people were killed, 7 others injured.
22-year-old Christian Soto arraigned in Winnebago County on 12 felony counts after prosecutors say he went on a killing spree Wednesday in multiple locations in and around Rockford that included knife and bat attacks, home invasions, and using his truck to run victims over. The youngest murder victim, a 15-year-old girl.
The suspect is now in the hands of the court system, and we expect he will be held responsible to the fullest extent of the law.
Rockford Mayor Tom McNamara, Soto telling police he began the deadly rampage after smoking what he thought was narcotic-laced marijuana. He's being held without bond.
Fox's Jeff Manasso. A record day on Wall Street. The Dow up 47 points at the bell, but that's enough for a new closing high at 39,807. America is listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
It's all online because of the online threat. 54 degrees, mostly sunny over Monument Circle. I'm Donnie Burgess. Here's what's trending at 4:02. A former student of Tri-West High School has been arrested for threatening to shoot up the school. Carson Cole apparently made the threat on Snapchat.
And he was transported to the Hendricks County Jail, where he is currently being held without bond for the criminal offense of intimidation, which is a level 5 felony.
Captain Amanda Goings with the Hendricks County Sheriff's Office. All school activities are also canceled Friday. The gunshot detection system will not move forward, says Indianapolis Metro Police. Chief Chris Bailey said in a statement the department is looking into less expensive public safety options that have better success records. Curtis Wilson has been sentenced to 3 years in prison for his role in the 2023 shooting outside of the Castleton Square Mall. Sasha Nixon reports.
The Marion County Prosecutor's Office says he and his friends had issues with another group last February, which led to Wilson taking a gun from his brother's hip and shots being fired by both groups. In February of this year, the man was convicted of 2 felony counts of criminal recklessness. Sasha Nixon, 93, WIBC Mobile News.
Dozens of Hoosiers are headed to the southern border.
I'm Ryan Hedrick. Last month, Governor Holcomb announced Indiana National Guard members were headed to Texas for border support. On Thursday, he emphasized the mission's importance alongside family and Guard members.
To prevent and reduce the human trafficking, the killer drugs that are finding their way across our country.
Holcomb says about 50 members will be gone for about 10 months. News. Ryan Hedrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
If you're tired of cold weather, then you'll probably enjoy hearing this.
It's going to be trending warmer, so we won't have the freezing nights as much in the next couple of days.
Forecaster Matt Eckhoff with the National Weather Service says temps could rise into the 70s as early as Friday. Your time is 4:04. Traffic and weather up next.
This is the most exciting time of the year, and we want you to go all the way, even if your team doesn't. March on, Indiana, in a Hubler quality pre-owned vehicle. Shop any of Hubler's 12 locations and choose from over 1,000 vehicles. Chevys, Fords, GMCs, Buicks, Nissans, Acuras, Mazdas, Hondas, and many more. All makes, all models, certified vehicles, luxury vehicles, even the hard-to-find ones. Every Hubler Q-certified vehicle is covered by a 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty, plus a 128-point vehicle inspection and a free Carfax history report. Hubler's got you covered for 100,000 miles. Busted brackets not included. So what drives Indiana? DriveHubler.com. For over 1,000 vehicles, visit any of our 12 locations.
Hubler's got you covered.
Warranty on select models less than 9 years old.
With traffic on the 5s at 4:05, here's Matt Bear.
All right, Donnie, here it is. Looking at southbound 65 northwest side towards downtown. It is a crash and a bad one. We have a vehicle on its side. And emergency vehicles are on scene right now. The two right lanes are blocked, stopping traffic not quite to Lafayette Road. I would get out at that exit if you do not want to be in this delay. It's only 7 minutes here at the moment, but crash is taking a minute to clean up, and the delay is building. Looking at northbound 65, the stalled semi-cleared at 71st Street. Still stop-and-go traffic back to Lafayette Road, but the delay is starting to get out of there, at least the front of the line. State Road 9 Greenfield closed both directions north of I-70. That's because of a crash in eastbound as 70 stops between Mountain Comfort Road and State Road 9. That's for several miles, so I'm going to try US 40 instead. Traffic sponsored by the Indianapolis Men's Clinic. Guys, solve your ED today with an intimacy guarantee. Only at the Indianapolis Men's Clinic. If you don't perform, you don't pay. Call the Indianapolis Men's Clinic at 999-9000. That's 999-9000. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Here's the forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
We'll be mostly cloudy for tonight with the potential for a few sprinkles with lows in the low 40s. Then for Friday, we're in for a marvelous and bright day to end the work week with highs in the upper 60s. Rain chances will return by late Friday night. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Stephen Deanna for 93 WIBC.
And I'm Donnie Burgess on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos?
So let's rock it.
Easter is this weekend, and many Americans will spend an average of close to $200 per person for the holiday.
So how will that impact your celebrations? Jen Sullivan breaks down the cost.
Grab your baskets and your wallet, because Easter spending this year is one for the record books.
Easter is certainly a popular holiday for many consumers.
Catherine Cullen with the National Retail Federation says Americans will shell out about $180 per person on Easter-related items this year.
Yeah, overall, prices are up nearly 20% since Biden took office, but I will ask you one question about that report from KXLY in Spokane. Jerry Lopez filling in for Hammer. Who's spending $200 for Easter?
So literally, me and my girlfriend were going shop. We have kids, right? We got the little ones.
Got the Easter Bunny, sure.
Easter Bunny. We're gonna do the eggs and dye eggs.
Yeah, as are we.
And I'm not spending that much money on that. Call me a bad parent if you want to. I don't care.
But what? I mean, are they talking about like
the Easter baskets? I haven't bought one of those in a long time because we make our own now. But they got to be like what, $40, $50.
But are they spending? Okay, Easter baskets.
So you have two kids. Two Easter baskets, two $80.
Kids. Peeps? We buying a lot of Peeps? We buying $200 worth of Peeps?
Cadbury eggs?
I mean, I just, maybe they're talking about Easter dinner or something like that.
That'd make more sense, I guess.
But, and yeah, again, 20% since Biden took office. Prices through the roof. And by the way, voters are noticing this price increase. I'm not just talking about Easter. I'm talking about overall. And this is from MSNBC, for God's sake.
Despite President Joe Biden holding rallies across the country in recent weeks to tout the state of the U.S. economy, his message still may not be resonating with many Americans. According to a new Fox News poll, more than half of registered voters say they would trust Donald Trump more with the economy than President Biden, and by something of a significant margin, 56% to 41%.
56% to 41%. And that's MSNBC quoting a Fox News poll.
Right. The number must have been even worse for theirs.
What? What? Yeah. Oh, that's an interesting
Right? They couldn't
thing.
quote their own because it was even worse. So I will tell you this much. Shout out to the crazy coupon lady, Jason Hammer's
I heard
wife.
about this.
That lady has changed my life, man. I now use the Kroger app every time that I go shopping, do the digital ads, and man, I save like 50% every time now.
Do you end up buying stuff that you don't want nor need?
No, because a lot of the stuff I get all the time, whether it's pop or chips or stuff like that. That's always on. I feel like such an old man right now, but yeah, here I am talking about coupons.
I think I was out that day you were filling in for me, and he had the crazy coupon
my
later
mind.
on.
And then I think I even tweeted a picture of my receipt. I'm like, I saved $80.
Hey, man, there you go. And then, meanwhile, okay, so economy sucks. Prices 20% up. Groceries just, through the roof.
Offensive.
Yeah, and unless you're the crazy coupon lady. And then we have millions of unvetted illegals flowing across the border into the United States. How about those polling numbers for Joe Biden?
New Fox News polls this morning, they find 67% of voters disapprove of President Biden's handling of immigration. In a New York Post interview, Border Patrol Union President Brandon Judd is warning that the Biden administration is flying migrants into the country so that the border doesn't look as out of control as it is. He expects an amnesty program in the future to accommodate the millions who've already come into the country on Biden's watch since Biden took office in 2021.
Millions and millions and millions. And did you hear the word that Maria Bartiromo just used? Amnesty.
Yeah.
That's what we're looking at.
That's the end
right?
goal.
That's the end goal. We're going to fly them in. We're going to give them prepaid debit cards. We're going to give them free health care. We're going to give them, we're going to let them stay in their kids' schools for shelter.
Yep.
And then eventually amnesty, and that's a vote for the Democrats.
That's what they're shooting
for. Got a whole new voting block, a whole new demographic.
So like they said about flying the people in, there's a rumor that they're now that they are now not having these people come to the border. They're meeting them on the other side of the border and bringing them over.
No, that's true. I mean, that's happening. I mean, and it should be illegal. I can't believe it's not illegal.
How's it not human trafficking?
literally. Well, but
not
the
Diddy
Biden
style,
administration,
not Diddy style.
But look, man, not P. Diddy for sure. But the policies of the Biden administration are enabling the sex traffickers and the fentanyl, and there's no question. And then there's this issue of crime. Like mainstream media has been like throwing this at us lately. Like, crime numbers in America overall has gone down, but let's go to a Democrat-led city like New York and see what the average man or woman on the street has to say.
I have a teenage son and I have 2 younger kids, so it's very alarming that crime in the city is getting this bad. Just don't feel safe.
There's crimes, people getting robbed, prostitution everywhere. If you walk around Roosevelt, forget about it. I don't walk around Roosevelt.
I've experienced stabbings firsthand on the train. I think I'm just desensitized to it. It happens.
You hear more and more violence going on every day. You're not going to want to come here.
My wife wants to take our daughter to New York City for like a summer trip, Jerry.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, I don't think so. She still seems to think like she's under the illusion that
it's like Home Alone, New York City.
Right. I mean, I'm sure there's places in Manhattan, the Upper East Side. Where's the rich parts, the real rich?
I don't know.
I mean, I'm sure there's places. There's pockets where people don't have to worry about what those men and women on the street there in New York City were talking about.
Let me tell you how safe New York is, Nigel. Ready? So NYPD tweeted this out today. So there was a guy going around New York City punching females in the face, like unprovoked.
Oh my God!
He punched this 57-year-old lady, had her mouth wired shut. It's pretty bad. So they put out this tweet. The NYPD is aware of a viral video circulating on social media depicting a woman who was randomly assaulted in an unprovoked attack. The individual has been arrested and charged and is a criminal recidivist with an extensive criminal history.
Oh.
Your NYPD detectives were able to identify the man after he was previously arrested for similar attacks, only to be released back onto the streets. This incident will be his 3rd arrest in the past 6 months. Your officers will continue to remain resilient in their efforts to stop violent criminals, ensuring the safety of our community. That's NYPD. They are literally pointing at their prosecutor going, why is this guy on the street?
Alvin Bragg. Fat Alvin Bragg is.
You want to go after Trump? Why is this guy on the street?
Meanwhile, somebody did get arrested and sentenced. Sam Bankman-Fried. Remember this guy? SBF, the goofy white kid with the afro
with
and
the
his
hair,
and his homely girlfriend with the Coke bottle glasses. Yeah, he's been sentenced to 25 years in federal prison for defrauding customers and investors. $8 billion, I believe, is the number.
Billy. 25.
25 of them.
25 years,
25
$8
years.
billion.
And they want to throw Trump in jail for the rest of his life.
You know, you can steal $8 billion and get 25 years in jail as long as you donate to the left. Because he was a big donor.
Huge donor. Huge. And he was a huge Ukraine donor. And then they would turn around and send that money back to the United States. It's a mess. But, you know, they want to send Donald Trump for challenging the election, questioning the election. Yeah. He didn't try to subvert the election. He was challenging and questioning this election.
Well, I tell people all the time, you mean to tell me the people wanted to overthrow the country and nobody brought a gun? This is the party. This is the party of 2A.
Yeah, no kidding.
And nobody brought a gun?
Well, the Capitol Police sure did. They killed Ashley Babbitt point blank.
You can't tell me they were trying to take it over with no weapons.
He was praised. That police officer was praised for that. Okay, a new poll found the average American spends 84 hours a year working sick. That's 10 and a half work days, or just over 2 weeks worth. Do you work sick? Like I don't work sick. I don't. Hammer and Rob know this well. If I've got like,
you could have just stopped after work. You know, like I need the definition of work and sick for this because I try not to work as much as possible.
47% said they'd rather work through an illness than take a sick day. No, I ain't part of that 47%.
You're on the other side of that, yeah.
And 34% worry people might think they're being lazy or a wuss. Well, look, we've just spent the past 4 years telling people, if you have the sniffles, stay home.
Yeah.
And like the only way I'm staying home now is if I have a fever. Well, if I got a fever, it's probably irresponsible for me to come into work. If I've got a cold and slobbering snot and stuff, I still come into work.
Do you think we would call you a wuss?
Yes.
So, are you worried about it?
No, I'm not. I could care less. Matt Bear, what is going on with traffic?
Nigel, looking at southbound 65 coming down. From the northwest side, we have a crash, a vehicle on its side. Southbound 65 at 38th Guyan Road, and traffic is backed up past Lafayette Road because the right lane is blocked. Now, if you're going the other way, say through Pike Township, it's getting better. Northbound 65 still slow, though, from West 56 up to 86 because of an earlier crash that is gone. Looking at southbound 65, 2 down at town, stop and go around west to Meridian Penn. Eastbound 70, slow roll off Harding into the south split. Inbound 69, stop and go traffic from 106th Street down to 82nd. Eastbound 70 still stopped front of the line, starting to clear out, but we are stopped after Mount Comfort Road past 200 West, and Greenfield State Road 9 is closed north of 70 at 300 North because of a crash, closed in both directions. Traffic sponsored by Mr. Quick Home Services, now hiring. Mr. Quick is offering a paid apprenticeship to become a heating and AC technician, $17 an hour while learning a trade with 6-figure earning potential. Class starts April 15th. Register at jobs.com. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Coming up next, is this anything right now? 56 and sunny at the American Standard Heating Weather Center on 93 WIBC. I know when I go to Diamonds Direct, I'm getting the best price available. Bought my wife some diamond stud earrings there. The thing I was impressed with the most, not only the price, but I had zero risk. No question asked money back guarantee on any purchase at Diamonds Direct. You get a nationwide price guarantee. You get a free lifetime warranty. And finally, Hammer's going to tell you about this diamond upgrade guarantee.
Only Diamonds Direct gives you a 110% diamond upgrade guarantee. So if you buy a diamond now and a year from now you decide to trade it in for a bigger diamond, Diamonds Direct will give you 110% of your original purchase price toward the larger stone. Nobody has better warranties, customer service than Diamonds Direct. The biggest selection, the lowest prices, diamondsdirect.com, or stop by Keystone at the Crossing. Diamonds Direct. Tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you.
Your new car, your new truck, your new electric vehicle is at Andy Moore Ford in Plainfield because they've got the deal that can't be beat. All of the new cars and trucks you're looking for and electric vehicles like the all-electric F-150 Lightning with seating up to 5, intelligent backup power, and on-site power for all your tools and gear. This all-electric truck is built for it all. Andy Moore Ford also has the rebates for you. Federal and state incentives. You could save more on your EV purchase up to $7,500 instantly on site and save more on all of their cars and trucks, their fleet vehicles, and their electric vehicles. Andy Moore Ford in Plainfield, including more to your door. You can just buy the car online and they will deliver it directly to you. Andy Moore Ford. Visit them on Main Street in Plainfield or online at andymoreford.com. That's Andy Moore, M-O-H-R. andymoreford.com.
Same old places. That's why I go to Jay's Lobster and Fish Market. It's right there in the Garage Food Hall, Bottle Works District. I could eat the lobster mac and cheese every day, 3 meals a day for a year.
It's so good. And you know what else is good there? Palavano Cubano.
Oh, are you kidding me?
The best Cuban food in Indy. And the atmosphere is amazing. You walk through the Garage Food Hall, it's like you're going through Vegas. So whether you're getting a little lobster mac and cheese or a Cuban sandwich, tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you.
Are you over 30 and putting off life insurance? It's time to get a quick quote from Ethos. A better, easier way to get term life insurance. All online with no medical exam. Answer a few health questions and you could be approved for up to $2 million. Isn't it worth 10 minutes to help protect your family's financial security? Ethos. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at checkethos.com. That's checkethos.com.
Hammer and Nigel presents
It depends upon what the meaning of the word is.
Is this anything?
All right, let's rock and roll.
All right, Jerry Lopez filling in for Hammer. I'm Nigel. You know how to play Is This Anything, right? I don't need to explain myself.
Yes, sir.
Reacting to the fallout of the bridge collapse in Baltimore, a security specialist says the last thing you'd want to do if your car is submerged in water is to start filming yourself. Trust me, that's the last thing I'd be doing if I fell into if my submerged. There's some people that get some clicks.
Make a damn good TikTok.
Here is Bill. His name is Bill Stanton, giving his advice on what to do and what not to do to prepare for being in a submerged vehicle.
We live in a society now when anytime there's an emergency, what's the first thing people do? They take out their cell phone and they want to film it. No. Do these dress rehearsals in your mind. I call them fire drills for life. Listen, we have so many things that come up, active shooters, plane emergencies. This is another one to add to the list. Just spend a couple of dollars. That makes sense. Have that seatbelt cutter, have that glass break, sway yourself away. So God forbid this happens, you're good to go.
I didn't know Peter Griffin from Family Guy was a security expert. Do you have anything like that in your vehicle?
So this is a true story. I used to have a phobia of running off the road into those retention ponds that are on the side of the. So my mom got me one of those. It's like a handheld thing that has the thing you can hit the windshield on. You can I don't know where it's at.
It kind of looks like a hammer, and it's got like a metal cylindrical point to it, and it's very sharp, and all you have to do is hit your window.
And in the middle is like divots to cut your seatbelt.
To cut the seatbelt.
I don't know where it's at anymore, but I mean, I guess I could have just put that in my car, honestly, now that I think about it.
So the last thing you do is start filming for some...
I don't know, man. It depends.
I hate that's one of my worst fears, too, being trapped in a car, submerged.
If I can come up with a good dance and put it on TikTok, I might record it first.
There's a... Before the water.
In 4 years, your son's doing my dance.
Yeah, exactly. But there's a lake or a creek right by where I drive a lot in Zionsville, right next to the Zionsville golf course. Turkeyfoot Road. Is it Turkeyfoot Road? I forget what it is, but I'm it's in the winter when it's icy.
Oh man,
I drive so
that's a fear of mine.
25-year-old grandma driving next to
people drown in those and they're only like 6 feet. People drown all the time. They're not deep.
Especially if you somehow wreck and you get turned over.
Yeah.
A guy in Georgia stole a front loader. You know what I'm talking about? Like one of these big earth movers with a bucket on the front.
Gotcha.
These big things. This guy stole one. The cops had no way to stop him. And then an employee at the same business jumped into a second front loader, chased him down, used a bucket on the front to flip him. Here's the body cam audio of one of the officers.
Stop. 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 Hey, stop.
I have no way of stopping this vehicle. He's going to go out the main road.
So grab your machine. What is it? One of those things? How fast is it?
They can get up to probably about 30.
Okay, grab that. Quick. Keep him up. Hey, flip it. If you can flip it.
That's amazing. That dude's a hero. Is this anything?
Man, that is that guy's best day ever. That is awesome. The cop is like, flip that car.
But I love at the beginning, the guy, he's telling the criminal that stole the front loader, stop. Stop.
So, man, I can't do anything.
Stop.
Hey, how fast that puppy go? It can go up to 30. Go get it. Flip it.
That is incredible. I need to. I would like to see if I could find some actual footage of that. I was running behind today. I didn't actually see any footage, but that's incredible. That guy is a hero. Stop. Like he was almost asking a question to the guy that was running away in a
Imagine sitting next to this guy at the bar
loader.
who tells you this story that he did. Like, oh,
that's
you're
what
lying.
I did today. A guy who takes random dog and cat videos and puts them to music has done it again. This time, you'll like this one, Allison. This time he's mixed in a French bulldog named Walter singing to Ryan Gosling's song from Barbie, I'm Just Ken.
I'm just Ken. Anywhere else I'd be a 10. Is it my destiny to live and die a life of blind fragility?
I'm having a conversation. Walter, I'm right here.
It's pretty good. Allison, is this anything?
This is something, yes. French bulldog singing to Barbie.
Do you own any pets? Are you a pet guy?
I do have a pet.
What do you got?
Dog.
Yeah.
German Shepherd.
Oh, wow.
Can you imagine if your German Shepherd sound like that?
I'd give it away. If my dog starts singing to I Am Ken, it's out of the house.
A study found 2 back-to-back nights of bad sleep makes us feel more than 4 years older than we really are, but a full month of perfect sleep can make you feel 5 years younger than your actual age. Do you buy this? Is this anything?
I mean, I believe that 2 back-to-back nights make you feel like crap.
Oh, yeah.
Like, there's no doubt about that. Allison even, like, who gets a month of perfect sleep? I don't even know.
What does a perfect sleep mean?
Yeah,
like
I
8
don't
hours? 8 hours on a
You have
run?
kids. I got kids. We're not getting perfect sleep. It doesn't.
Oh, man. Here's what happened. Here's my routine. And especially if I'm stay up late, I have a few drinks. Put the CPAP machine on when I go to bed. My wife won't let me sleep without it. Because I snore.
Hardware, yeah, I snore too.
Yeah.
I'm not getting one. If I get one,
changed
just
my
to
life.
choke myself out with the tube.
or if it's happened before the electricity goes out in the middle of the night.
So your wife is sleeping next to Darth Vader?
Yeah, right. She needs an award being married to me. It looks like I've got the alien stuck to my face like with the thing down my throat. That's what it looks like. And
pictures or it didn't happen.
Yeah, exactly. And so, but the alarm just goes off at 6 o'clock in the morning, and the kids got to school, breakfast, teeth brushed. My wife has to go to work. I go back to bed for an hour. That's what I do. And I feel after that extra hour, like from 8 to 9:15, I feel like a superhero. I feel like
really. I feel worse when I try to
awesome.
go back to sleep.
But it's not like I'm taking a nap. Yeah, sometimes you take a nap in the middle of the afternoon on a weekend.
Should've
and
just
you feel
got up.
yeah. But no, man, that extra hour of sleep. I'm fortunate that this schedule allows me to do that. My wife just hates me for it. She thinks I'm a lazy piece of
I
garbage.
work from home. Trust me. I didn't do. You didn't. I worked.
All right, we'll be right back. It's the Hammer and Nigel show.
Let me tell you about Travis Barnes. A local guy from Indy sees what happens on September 11th and decides he needs to do something, so he joins the Marines, goes through basic, gets shipped over to Iraq, does 3 tours in Operation Iraqi Freedom, and through all of this, he learns about the Marine mindset, doing things right, discipline, with only the highest standards. Travis rises up to sergeant, receives multiple combat action medals and citations, survives several IEDs, and becomes combat disabled. So he comes back to Indiana and starts Hotel Tango Distillery. Some of you might have heard of Hotel Tango, but if not, here's here's the deal. They're an Indianapolis company that produces spirits made with the high standards Travis learned while serving. I've tried their bourbon. I enjoy their bourbon. 94 score from Wine Enthusiast, gold at the San Francisco Spirits Competition, and the best part, under $40. So if you haven't tried it yet, head down to wherever you buy your spirits and pick up a bottle of Hotel Tango. Thanks to Travis for his service, and thanks to Hotel Tango for sponsoring the show. Hotel Tango, distilled with discipline. HotelTangoDistillery.com.
Did you know one of the best investments you can make? It's in yourself. At My Computer Career, in just a few months, you could start your new career in the high-demand, recession-resistant field of information technology. Isn't it time you invest in you and start a career in networking, cybersecurity, AI, or upskill to boost your current IT career? So, get the ROI you deserve at My Computer Career. No experience necessary. Start now at mycomputercareer.edu.
Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the GI Bill.
Garage Doors of Indianapolis has been a local, family-owned and operated business for nearly 50 years and helps keep Central Indiana's economy strong by employing over 70 families. Garage Doors of Indianapolis stands by their products and services while they share and embrace our conservative values. So when you have garage door problems, call them today for service today. Garage Doors of Indianapolis, 875-4577, 875-4577, or visit doorstoday.com.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
The bullets that led to his arrest. You've got 56 degrees. I'm Donnie Burgess. Here's what's trending at 4:30. More than a year after a shooting at an Indianapolis mall, a man will be spending 3 years in prison. Sasha Nixon reports.
The Marion County Prosecutor's Office says Curtis Wilson has been sentenced to 4 years total, with one suspended for his role in a shooting outside the Castleton Square Mall. Police say he and his friends had issues with another group last February, which led to Wilson taking a gun from his brother's hip and shots being fired by both groups. He was ultimately shot in the leg. No one else was hurt. Sasha Nixon, 93, WIBC Mobile News.
Former President Trump is calling the death of an NYPD officer a sad event. Officer Jonathan Diller was shot and killed Monday during a traffic stop in Queens. Trump attended Officer Diller's wake on Long Island today. It's back to arguments in the Georgia election interference case against former President Trump.
Trump attorney Stephen Sadow argued in the hearing that the former president's efforts to overturn his 2020 election loss were protected speech. This was indeed the first hearing in the Georgia Trump case since March 15, when Special Prosecutor Nathan Wade resigned from the case as a condition for District Attorney Fani Willis to continue prosecuting it. With Wade out, Willis is still the top prosecutor in this case, but expect an appeal from the defense. They say the judge's ruling did not go far enough since he gave the DA the option to stay in place if Nathan Wade removed himself from the case.
Fox's Jonathan Seri outside the courthouse in Atlanta. You've probably noticed that it's chilly in the mornings and then much warmer in the afternoons. That should ease up.
So we're going to not have that much of an extreme swing between night and day. This weekend at least.
Forecaster Matt Eckhoff says high temps will be in the 60s and even the 70s in some spots into next week. And the closing bell report on 93 WIBC. The Dow Jones gained 47 points, finishing the day 39,807. The NASDAQ down 20 to 16,379. And the S&P 500 gained 5 points, finishing the day 5,254. Your time is 4:32. Traffic and weather coming up in 1 minute.
Hi, this is Denny Smith for Exercise Inc. A lot of folks give up on their bodies in their 40s or 50s. Statistically, we gain 1.5 pounds every year past 50, and it's usually a tough slog to fight that. 18 years ago, I took a friend's recommendation and I went to Exercise Inc. for one of their free consultations. Me? I didn't want to get heavy. I wanted to stay trim and in shape, and that was really a struggle. 18 years ago, I went, and 18 years later, I'm still going every week. They've helped me to reach and maintain my health and fitness goals, and they do that with specific strength training in only 20 minutes a week. You've just got to try this health and exercise approach, and the consultation is free. My guess is that, like me, you'll be skeptical for the first couple of weeks, and then it happens. You'll feel better, you'll probably lose some weight, and you'll probably look better too. Go to exerciseinc.com today and sign up for a free consultation. Avon, Brownsburg, Zionsville, Greenwood, now in Fishers too. exerciseinc.com.
With traffic, how are the roads, Matt Bear?
Pretty bad if you're on the northwest side, Donnie. Southbound 65 towards downtown. Crash at 38th Guy and 2 right lanes are blocked. A vehicle is on its side and traffic is stopped back to Lafayette Road. My delay time right now is just 7 minutes. Northbound 65 is clearing out. We are still stop and go from 465 up to 86th Street. That is because of an earlier semi-crash, and that traffic has to go somewhere. It's pushing right now to the north, so we are slow from 865 up to State Road 267. East side northbound 465 stop and go from 70 up to East 56th Street. Greenfield State Road 9 shut down north of I-70. That's at 300 North closed in both directions of State Road 9 because of a crash. Eastbound 70 still jammed at Mount Comfort Road out to 400 West. The line is starting to move after that. Traffic sponsored by Royal Spa. Everyone knows that soaking in Epsom salts can make you feel better. Now imagine soaking in Epsom salts in a Royal Spa hot tub. RoyalSpa.com. Royal Spa. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic on dates at WIBC Traffic.
And now the forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
Expecting a mostly cloudy Thursday night with the potential for a few sprinkles, lows in the low 40s. Then for Friday, we're in for a marvelous and bright end to the work week with highs in the upper 60s. Then we'll bring back rain chances by late Friday night. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Stephen Deanna for 93 WIBC.
And I'm Donnie Burgess on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Oh, man. It's all come down to this. Little tear streaming down my eye. Hammer is out. Jerry Lopez is in. My name is Nigel. The tradition and the pageantry of Meltdown Madness has come to a close.
Sad day.
We have a winner. We have a champion. If you're just now tuning in and you don't know what Meltdown Madness was, we took audio clips of various celebrities, coaches, athletes, actors melting down on camera or over the phone, secret hidden video recorders, whatever, being recorded, just having complete meltdowns. And we came down to the final two last night. It was Tommy Lasorda and his meltdown over this Bavacqua guy. Apparently what had happened was the Padres got hit with a pitch. Bavacqua charged the mound and then told the press later that
they hit him on purpose.
Well, it was the third baseman that got hit, and then Bavacqua charged them out. So, but whatever. But here is Tommy Lasorda. Let's one more time hear this rant.
I have never, ever, since I've managed, ever told a pitcher to throw at anybody, nor will I ever. And if I ever did, I certainly wouldn't make him throw at a 130 hitter like a Bavacqua who couldn't hit water if he fell out of a boat. And I guarantee you this, when I pitched and I was going to pitch against a team that had guys on it like Bavacqua, I sent a limousine to get the to make sure he was in the lineup.
Love it.
Now that was an upset. That's a 10 seed in the final round here. Wow. That's a 10 seed.
That's a very good 10 seed.
I believe he beat Bill O'Reilly.
If you
we'll do it live. We'll do it live.
If you reseed it, what is that next year?
That's a good question. I don't know. I think we have to retire this. I think we have to retire.
No, Bobby Knight has to be retired.
Okay. And then he went up again. This is the final matchup. He went up against Bobby Knight, locker room rant.
I mean, if you're not going to recover Greg Graham, if you're just going to let him drive by you, if the rest of you are going to let him catch the ball outside the 3-second lane and drive all the way in here without one guy challenging him, then I'm leaving and you fucking guys will run till you can't even suffer. Now, I'm tired of this shit. I'm sick and fucking tired of an 8-10 record. I'm fucking tired of losing to Purdue. I'm not here to fuck around this week. Now, you may be, but I'm not.
Ladies and gentlemen, by a score of 68.2% to 31.8%, your champion of Meltdown Madness, the Bobby Knight locker room rant.
I'm fucking tired of losing to Purdue. I'm not here to fuck around this week.
Was there any question that this was going to be the winner?
I mean, the beauty of it, Nigel, is he didn't know he was being recorded.
Yeah. And the other beauty of it is, he mentions Greg Graham. We've talked to Greg Graham. Greg Graham said that was just another. That's just another Tuesday for us.
And here it is, 2024. You're still bringing it up.
So, ladies and gentlemen, As we always do in our, we've had Biden madness, we've had COVID hypocrisy madness, and now meltdown madness. Here is one shining moment. Meltdown.
85% of the world's working. The other 15 come out here.
Like this in the background. What the is it with you? Give me a answer. Oh, good for you.
Provocatively dressed all the time with your fake boobs. You feel you have to show off. About what a rude little pig you really are.
The ball is
Playoffs?
Playoffs?
I just hope we can win a game.
You're running for your life.
You want to see great, don't you?
You're killing me, man.
We couldn't do diddly poo offensively.
If I see it again, you're going.
No. Stop the hammering.
Sports O'Donnell.
I'll write it and we'll do it live. And things suck.
It's like no one's ever worked on TV here before. I actually can't believe what I just
Chris
saw.
Berman.
I want somebody to use his brain to not come out of a damn record
Casey Kasem.
that's up tempo, and I got to talk about a dog dying.
The dog died, yeah.
I'm a man. I'm 40.
Classic.
Gundy.
Guys ordered like Babakwa. I sent a limousine
Runner
to
up.
get the
Yep.
to make sure he was in the lineup.
I'm sick and tired
And
of
still champion.
I'm tired of losing to Purdue. I'm not here to freak around this week. Now you may be, but I'm not.
Was there any doubt it was going to be Bobby Knight on top there?
That's all time classic.
I don't know what we're going to do next year, but Meltdown Madness is over. Purdue, by the way, in March Madness playing Gonzaga, Sweet 16 tomorrow night, tip-off in Detroit around 7:40.
Indiana State this weekend, NIT Final Four. Go Sycamores.
Go Sycamores, and then we have, I think the Purdue women's NIT is still in it. And I know the Lady Hoosiers have a game in the NCAA tournament, as well as, I'm thinking of Iowa. Iowa plays.
Indianapolis
Caitlin
Indians are
Hawkins.
kicking off. They got the number one
that's
draft
right.
picks, the pitcher.
Yeah.
He's playing here. Got drafted by the Pirates, first pick.
Excellent.
Great weekend for Indiana.
Let's set our sights towards Canada here for just a second, because something interesting is going on up there. If the federal elections were held today, the Conservatives in Canada would beat Prime Minister Justin Trudeau's Liberals by 18 points, according to a new survey of more than 3,500 Canadians. 41% would vote for this guy, the Conservative Party, Pierre Poilievre.
He's awesome, too, by the way.
He's
like their Donald Trump.
Yeah, I mean, really, I've got some audio I'm going to play here for you in just a second. But so just like Biden, just like what's going on here in America with the Democrat Liberal Party, Trudeau has horrible poll numbers, soaring inflation, soaring interest rates, soaring housing costs,
lockdowns. The COVID thing, going after the bankers and the truckers and banking, the protest. It's been a mess.
It's been horrible, and people are taking notice. And here is his competition. Like you said, this conservative guy, Pierre is his name, is answering questions from an obviously biased liberal.
I'm a fan of this guy.
A journalist, right? And he listen to this audio. Pierre, again, beating Trudeau in the polls, is eating an apple while answering this liberal journalist question.
On the topic, I mean, in terms of your sort of strategy currently, you're obviously taking the populist pathway.
What does that mean?
Well, appealing to people's more emotional levels, I would guess. I mean, certainly you tap very strong ideological language quite frequently.
Like what?
Left wing, this and that, right wing. I mean, it's that type of ideological thing.
I never really talk about left or right.
Anyways, I
don't really believe in that.
Okay. A lot of people would say that you're simply taking a page out of the Donald Trump book.
Like which people would say that?
Well, I'm sure a great many Canadians, but
like who?
I don't know who, but
well, you're the one who asked the question, so you must know somebody.
Okay, I'm sure there's some out there, but anyways, the point of this question is, I mean, why should Canadians trust you with their vote, given not just the sort of ideological inclination in terms of taking the page out of Donald Trump's book, but
what are you
also
talking about? What page? What page? Can you give me the page? Give me the page. You keep saying
in terms of turning things quite dramatically in terms of Trudeau and the left wing and all of this. I mean, you make quite a it's quite a play that you make on it. So I'm
not
just
sure.
wondering.
I don't know what your question is.
Then forget that. Why should Canadians trust you with their vote?
Common sense.
Isn't that the best? I've never heard. I don't know anything about Canadian politics.
That guy's awesome.
But I love whoever. Today's the first day I've ever heard of Pierre Poilievre.
So this has come up on Twitter. The Canadian, what we would call Congress, when they get up and they talk, Pierre will talk.
Oh, yeah.
And Trudeau has to answer in front of everybody.
Yes.
And
okay, now I know. Okay.
It's like teams. People clap and boo and like. It is much watched television, and Pierre brings the heat.
I love it. I love it. So, look, this obviously, he was eating the apple the entire time, which gives it an air of just, I don't care. And it reminds me of this. I think he got this idea, by the way, from an episode of Seinfeld where George eats an apple over the phone to sound more confident when he's asking a girl out on a date for the first time.
So you called. Right. And to cover my nervousness, I started eating an apple because I think if they hear you chewing on the other end of the phone, it makes you sound casual. Yeah, like a farm boy. Right.
I'm not saying, I'm just saying. That's all. All right, we'll be right back. It's the Hammer and Nigel Show. Hey, March is a critical time to check your home's windows. If they're cracked, leaking, won't open, or stay open, it's time to call Window Nation. Buy 2 windows, get 2 free, plus 0 down, 0 interest, 0 payments for 24 months. I'm a Window Nation customer. I'll never use anybody else. Here's what Window Nation customer Trey had to say. Josh, with Window Nation, went above and beyond to help us set up what was very accommodating and had answers for all our questions. He made this experience very efficient and pain-free and would recommend him and his team 10 out of 10.
When you get new energy-efficient windows from Window Nation, number one, the staff gets in and they get out quickly, and they do a bang-up job. But number two, you're going to notice your heating and air bills going down. These windows are that good. They make your house look better. They lower your bill. And right now, buy 2 of them and get 2 for free. And you don't pay anything. No interest for 2 years. 866-90-NATION or go to windownation.com. But you have to tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you.
Business. It's all the things that keep this world turning. And behind every one of these companies is a partner helping to keep it all moving. It's why the local flower shop and your favorite pizza joint, the startup and the stadium, hospitals and hotels, banks and restaurants nationwide all choose the advanced network, cybersecurity solutions, and round-the-clock trusted partnership from Comcast Business, the company that powers more businesses than anyone else. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
See why Comcast Business powers more small businesses than anyone else. Get started with fast speeds and advanced security for $49 a month for 12 months with a 2-year contract when you add 1 unlimited mobile line. Plus, ask how to get up to an $800 prepaid card with a qualifying gig bundle. Don't wait. Call to switch today. Ends 5/6/24. Restrictions apply. New customers only with 100 megabits per second internet and security edge. EcoBill and autopay required. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra.
Dents happen. There's a whole lot of stuff that can mess up the look of your vehicle. Don't paint your car. Go PDR with Kill a Dent Removal. PDR is paintless dent removal that saves your factory finish and is way less invasive than traditional body shop repairs. And it's faster too, sometimes same day. Google Kill a Dent Removal and check out the reviews and photos. Then schedule your repair. Hail baseballs, kids, fender benders, shopping carts, flying cows, angry X's, and anything else that leaves dents. Don't paint your car. Go PDR with Kill a Dent Removal.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can it keep me warm when I'm cold?
Wait, no. I'm always hot.
Sleep Number does that. The Climate 360 smart bed actively cools or warms up to 13 degrees on either side for your ideal sleep temperature. 94% of Sleep Number smart sleepers report better sleep. J.D. Power ranks Sleep Number #1 in customer satisfaction with mattresses purchased in-store. And now save $1,000 on our most popular Sleep Number smart bed. Ends Saturday. For J.D. Power 2023 award information, visit jdpower.com/awards. To find a store near you, visit sleepnumber.com.
Indy's leader in patio installation is now offering a new driveway package. Schedule a free estimate today at IndyDecorativeConcrete.com. That's IndyDecorativeConcrete.com. Indy's leader in patio installation is now offering a new driveway package. Schedule a free estimate today at IndyDecorativeConcrete.com. That's IndyDecorativeConcrete.com.
Matt Bear, what's going on with traffic?
Nigel, coming into downtown from the northwest side, southbound 65 is closed. Lafayette Road down to 38th Guy. It's so they can remove an overturned van. It is upright. It is on the record. Hopefully we'll get 65 open before too long. Traffic is jammed up to Lafayette Road. If you want to miss that, exit at Lafayette Road. Otherwise, you will be stuck for a few. Looking at northbound 465 east side, stop and go traffic from 70 up to Penn Pike. Eastbound 70 Hancock County, slow from Mount Comfort Road for a few miles. Greenfield State Road 9 shut down both directions at 300 North. That's north of I-70 because of a crash. Crash south side Emerson Avenue and Thompson Road. Crash on the west side Lyndhurst Drive south of Washington. That's at Chelsea Road. Traffic sponsored by Indy Decorative Concrete. Indy's leader in patio installation is now offering a new driveway package. Schedule free estimate today at IndyDecorativeConcrete.com. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
56 at the American Standard Heating Weather Center, 93 WIBC.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Jerry Lopez filling in for Hammer. Find him on all the socials at Indy Spanglish. You're a movie guy, aren't you?
I am becoming a movie guy.
Becoming?
Yeah, I like movies, but I'm now starting to go to the theater to watch them.
I want to get your review of Ghostbusters. You saw the new Ghostbusters. I will get that in a minute. But there have been rumors about a second Happy Gilmore movie with Adam Sandler. We remember Happy Gilmore, right? He's this professional hockey player who develops a passion for golf, basically.
No, he has to golf to save Grandma's house.
That's right. He's golfing to save Grandma's house, and his arch nemesis in the movie is Shooter McGavin once he starts the pro tour. And people, he starts to, advance through the ranks there in the pro golf tour. And Shooter McGavin, played by Christopher McDonald, is his nemesis. And so we had the story earlier in the week. There was rumors that there's a Happy Gilmore 2 and that Shooter McGavin, played by Christopher McDonald, has seen the script. Well, Christopher McDonald put this out today on social media, obviously shooting it like a selfie, like an iPhone, on social media. Go ahead and roll that.
I eat pieces of shit like you for breakfast. So stay out of my way, or you'll pay. Choke on that, baby. Shoot it out.
He's coming back.
So that to me, I mean, that's a famous line in the movie. He goes, "I eat pieces of bleep like you for breakfast." Happy Gilmore goes, "You eat pieces of bleep for breakfast?" No.
So here's my question, Nige. With Happy Gilmore 2 coming out, and then 2 that I have on my radar, Bad Boys 4 comes out June 7th, and Beverly Hills Cop 4 comes out July 3rd. That's on Netflix. Of those 3, which one do you want to watch the most?
Oh, Happy Gilmore 2.
Yeah.
Probably followed closely by, I wouldn't watch Bad Boys.
I'm Beverly Hills Cop.
Yeah. You're Beverly Hills Cop before Happy Gilmore?
Yeah. I mean, you know what? Happy Gilmore is great. So 1A, 1B.
Well, I've still got to see Dune Part 2.
I haven't seen Dune Part 1.
You haven't seen it?
No.
It's
I haven't seen
incredible.
Part 1.
It's one of the best science fiction movies I've ever seen. It's not just me saying that. Steven Spielberg is on record as saying Dune Part 2 is one of the most brilliant science fiction films he's ever seen. And that's coming a lot from the guy who made the movie E.T.
Who directed this film? Do we know? Was it Steven Spielberg?
It's the same guy that directed The Arrival and
So not Steven
Sicario.
Spielberg.
I forget his name off the top of my head. Really good director, though. And he... But just think about it. Close Encounters with the Third Kind, E.T., AI, Artificial Intelligence. You remember Spielberg did that movie? War of the Worlds.
That was a good
And for
one.
him to say Dune 2...
That he didn't even produce, or he didn't even do.
It didn't have anything to do with is... not that I know of, anyway, is one of the most brilliant science fiction films he's ever seen. I cannot wait to go see this. You saw the new Ghostbusters.
I
Give
did.
me the Jerry Lopez review of the new Ghostbusters.
It's good. It's good. It's not woke, which is a big deal these days in movies. They do a lot of callbacks.
To the original movie?
To the original Ghostbusters 1 and 2. So if you like a lot of those characters, some of them reappear. On this one, I would go see it again. It's not bad. If you have kids, it's kid-friendly. You have a 12-year-old, take your kid.
Okay.
It's good.
Yeah, I want to see it.
And you'll like it, and then he'll like it as well.
And we were talking about this off the air. You did not see the one previous to this.
I didn't know there was one previous.
You did not know.
I thought it was Ghostbusters 1, Ghostbusters 2, the Girls Ghostbusters, and then this one. But I guess there's a whole nother one I missed.
And the Girls Ghostbusters have nothing to do with these new ones.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the
go
one,
back and see. Go back and watch the first one of these two.
Paul Rudd's.
Yeah, Paul Rudd's first one.
Okay.
Yes. Also today, Vince Vaughn is 54 years old.
Jeez.
He's brilliant in Curb Your Enthusiasm, by the way. Plays one of Larry David's buddies. But I mean, I first discovered Vince Vaughn really, technically, in Rudy. He was the a-hole, the football player.
I didn't even know he was in Rudy.
He was in Rudy at the end where, he gets tackled by Rudy and says, "This guy thinks it's the Super Bowl or whatever," and and then Swingers is really where I discovered Vince Vaughn. And then, after that, it just took off. Wedding Crashers, Old School, Dodgeball, Anchorman, Starsky and Hutch is even funny. So here's my favorite Vince Vaughn scene.
Are they built for speed or for comfort? What'd you do with them? Motorboat? You play the motorboat? You motorboating son of a old sailor, you.
So Vince Vaughn is 54 years old today, if you need a reason to drink tonight. Allison, please, some mood music.
Because I got high, because I got high, because I got high.
Well, unfortunately, if you were planning on going to the 420 cannabis celebration at Hippie Hill in San Francisco, Jerry, it's been officially canceled. I know. Here's the actual PA announcement from the organizer.
Sorry to harsh your mellow, but we're putting a chill on the 420 cannabis celebration. Let me be blunt. I know we were all going to have a good time. In fact, I'm pretty sure we'd go well together. Could have done some bonding. So if you're planning to stop by, just keep rolling. And remember, 2 wrongs don't make a right, but 2 lefts will take you to the dispensary by my house. Later, dudes.
There you go. Unfortunately, Hippie Hill in San Francisco shutting down the 420 cannabis celebration. Coming up at 5 o'clock, Breitbart London Bureau Chief Oliver Lane is going to break down exactly what happened with the Baltimore Bridge collapse. What is the status of the ship, the cargo ship that collapsed the bridge? Was it having problems before it left port? And we are going to go off the rails with Rob Kendall at 5:30, even though he took the day off. We'll be right back. It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
This is the most exciting time of the year, and we want you to go all the way, even if your team doesn't. March on, Indiana, in a Hubler quality pre-owned vehicle. Shop any of Hubler's 12 locations and choose from over 1,000 vehicles. Chevys, Fords, GMCs, Buicks, Nissans, Acuras, Mazdas, Hondas, and many more. All makes, all models, certified vehicles, luxury vehicles, even the hard-to-find ones. Every Hubler Q-certified vehicle is covered by a 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty, plus a 128-point vehicle inspection and a free Carfax history report. Hubler's got you covered for 100,000 miles. Busted brackets not included. So what drives Indiana? DriveHubler.com. For over 1,000 vehicles, visit any of our 12 locations.
Hubler's got you covered.
Warranty on select models less than 9 years old.
Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare information guide absolutely free. Call 800-919-3200. That's 800-919-3200. 800-919-3200.
You expect your home to protect everything you love, but you don't expect the ways water is breaking down your crawl space and damaging your home. Musty smells, sagging floors, mold are just a few signs your crawl space is compromised. But there's one way to get answers to all your concerns. A free home inspection from Indiana Foundation Service. We put water back in its place. Get your free inspection at indianafoundation.com.
Everyone wants energy that's reliable and affordable. I've been a Duke Energy line worker here in Indiana for almost 20 years. So I'm proud to help deliver that for the people and the communities that matter most to me. With stronger, more resilient systems, better able to stand up to severe weather, and support for local businesses and jobs. It feels good knowing I'm helping build a smarter energy future for all of us.
Paid for by Duke Energy shareholders.
Have you ever felt like you're not good enough? Like you're always falling short? The Bible tells us that we are all sinners and that our sin separates us from God. But God loves us so much that he sent his son, Jesus Christ, to die on the cross for our sins. Jesus took our place. He became the great exchange. He took our sin upon himself and he gave us his righteousness. Hi, this is Pastor Micah Beckwith. This Easter, March 31st at Life Church, we want to invite you to celebrate the great exchange with us. Go to lifechurchin.com to learn more about our Easter service times.
Did you know one of the best investments you can make? It's in yourself. At My Computer Career, in just a few months, you could start your new career in the high-demand, recession-resistant field of information technology. Isn't it time you invest in you and start a career in networking, cybersecurity, AI, or upskill to boost your current IT career? So, get the ROI you deserve at My Computer Career. No experience necessary. Start now at mycomputercareer.edu.
Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the GI Bill.
Coming up in 2 minutes, a man has been charged with threatening his former school. Sasha Nixon reports on a man heading to prison for a 2023 mall shooting, and why your governor is focused on the southern border. Those stories and more next from the Technology Recycler Studios. You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's 5 o'clock.
This isn't just a campaign fundraiser. Lisa Brady, Fox News. President Biden's re-election campaign says what's happening tonight in New York City is expected to raise a record amount for a political event, $25 million, featuring 2 former Democratic presidents.
Tonight there will be a discussion between Presidents Biden, Obama, and Clinton. It will be moderated by Stephen Colbert, and there will also be musical performances tonight from Queen Latifah and Lizzo, as well as other artists. Tickets range from $225 to $500,000. The $500,000 ticket gets you entrance into a more private reception.
Fox's Nate Foy outside Radio City Music Hall. A picture with all 3 presidents taken by famed photographer Annie Leibovitz will cost $100,000. Pro-Palestinian groups plan to protest, gathering at other locations and marching toward the event. Former President Trump spending time on New York's Long Island to pay respects at the wake for murdered NYPD officer Jonathan Diller. The 31-year-old shot during a traffic stop. The 2 suspects in custody have been arrested many times before.
We have to stop it. We have to get back to law and order. We have to do a lot of things differently because this is not working. This is happening too often.
Diller is survived by his wife and 1-year-old son. The Tunneled Towers Foundation pledging today to pay off their mortgage. FTX founder Sam Bankman-Fried learns his fate for the fraud that brought down his cryptocurrency exchange, sentenced to 25 years in prison.
He is going to serve that sentence in a medium security prison in San Francisco so his parents can visit him. He's also required to pay over $11 billion in restitution. That, of course, is a formality, though, because he is, in fact, broke at this moment.
Fox Business's Kelly O'Grady at federal court in New York City, where Bankman-Fried did speak, apologizing without admitting guilt as he plans an appeal. He could have faced decades more in prison. America is listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Why police chose to arrest him. It's Sunny and 56. I'm Donnie Burgess. Here's what's trending at 5:02. A former student at Tri-West Hendricks High School posted a threat to the school on Snapchat,
which led many members of the community to be in fear that that man would come to Tri-West High School and carry out a violent and deadly attack.
Captain Amanda Goings with the Hendricks County Sheriff's Office says Carson Cole is now in jail. He's facing a felony intimidation charge. More than a year after a shooting at an Indianapolis shopping mall, a man will be spending 3 years in prison. Sasha Nixon reports.
The Marion County Prosecutor's Office says Curtis Wilson has been sentenced to 4 years total, with 1 suspended for his role in a shooting outside the Castleton Square Mall. Police say he and his friends had issues with another group last February, which led to Wilson taking a gun from his brother's hip and shots being fired by both groups. He was ultimately shot in the leg. No one else was hurt. Sasha Nixon, 93, WYBC Mobile News.
Indiana's Eric Holcomb was among 13 governors who visited the border last month to see the situation firsthand.
And that's what prompted his decision to send 50 Indiana National Guard members to Texas.
Hoosiers are proving once again, if federal government at large can't get their act together on the border, we will. You did. You are. You stepped up, and you stepped up for us.
Governor Holcomb speaking at a ceremony at Camp Atterbury on Thursday. He says the fentanyl that's coming across the border is killing Hoosiers. Ryan Hedrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Indianapolis Metro Police will not move forward with the gunshot detection system. IMPD Chief Chris Bailey said in a statement Thursday, the department will explore other options that aren't as expensive and have a better track record of success. Temperatures will warm up over the next couple of days.
That warm front kind of hangs around just to our north, and we get on and off storm chances possibly into Monday and Tuesday.
Forecaster Matt Eckhoff says most of the state will get rain at some point from tonight through Tuesday. Your time is 5:04. Traffic and weather up next.
If you love spring and Indy but hate the paint, do what Lynn did. She called Rhino Shield.
It is a single-wide manufactured home. We moved from our home, which we had the Rhino Shield on. Rhino Shield was what we were going to do. That was no question. We knew we were going to do it.
Rhino Shield's a ceramic coating. It's not paint, it's better.
The Rhino Shield representative came and we discussed what we wanted done. And this time, we had the roof done as well.
Now, you can have the 25-year guaranteed protection of Rhino Shield for 15% off the regular price.
Even the people that have been a little younger than us have said they don't have to worry about getting just an everyday painter because Rhino Shield has the 25-year warranty, and we truly believe in this product.
Here's Rhino Shield's Shane Smith.
This offer is limited, so call me at 888-RHINO-41. That's 888-RHINO-41.
Don't paint.
Don't vinyl.
Go Rhino!
Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
With traffic on the 5s at 5:05, here's Matt Bear.
All right, Donnie, southbound 65 at 38th Guy and has cleared. Traffic is flushed out. It is no longer closed. Inbound 69, stop and go after 106th Street, 282nd. Eastbound 465, stop and go traffic, Westfield Boulevard to Allisonville Road. Lawrence, northbound 465, a grind from 70 up to 75th. And southbound 65 to downtown, stop and go traffic, MLK to Meridian Penn. Same with eastbound 70 after Tibbs into the south split. Greenfield eastbound is 70 stop and go traffic after Mount Comfort Road for about a mile. It's at least moving now, and we have a closure. It is State Road 9 north of I-79, shut down both the directions at 300 north. Traffic sponsored by the Indianapolis Men's Clinic. Guys, solve your ED today with an intimacy guarantee. Only at the Indianapolis Men's Clinic. If you don't perform, you don't pay. Call the Indianapolis Men's Clinic at 999-9000. That's 999-9000. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And now the forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
We'll be mostly cloudy for tonight with the potential for a few sprinkles with lows in the low 40s. Then for Friday, we're in for a marvelous and bright day to end the work week with highs in the upper 60s. Rain chances will return by late Friday night. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Stephen Deanna for 93 WIBC.
And I'm Donnie Burgess on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos?
So let's rock it!
All right, biggest story in America right now, the cargo ship that collapsed the Key Bridge in Baltimore. We'll go to the WIBC hotline and bring on Breitbart London Bureau Chief Oliver Lane. Oliver, the last time we talked to you, we were talking about terrorists in the Red Sea bombing cargo ships in the shipping lanes. Now we're talking about shipping lanes and a collapsed bridge in Baltimore. Some of our audience might wonder, why is this guy from London? How does he know anything about what's going on in Baltimore? Could you maybe just give us some context of your background in these types of matters?
Well, it's a busy time to be Breitbart News' maritime issues coordinator, which it seems I am these days. But going back very nearly 15 years now, I did have the enormous privilege to read military intelligence and international security at King's College in London, which is absolutely the best place in the world for it, world-leading centre. And it just so happens that while I was doing that, my specialist area was looking at the consequences and why, what happens when terrorists block strategic waterways. So that's what we were talking about with the Red Sea. That's very clearly acts of terrorism trying to deny a strategic waterway. Not the case in Baltimore, of course. This is very different in terms of why it's happened. Not a terrorist attack, we think, but the actual results, the consequences in terms of the hit to the economy, very similar. So it's a relevant sort of area of interest.
So, Oliver, what's the latest in Baltimore? What do we need to know? I know that they found 2 construction workers submerged in a truck at the bottom of the river. Authorities now say 4 construction workers are now missing and presumed dead.
Absolutely. Well, it's tough news to impart, isn't it, that 2 bodies were pulled from the river, especially after you had that, what was almost tantamount. Let me just be clear, I hate to use this word, but was almost a miracle on Tuesday when actually so few people were on the bridge at the time, and 2 of those construction workers were pulled from the river almost right away. And after that fall, incredible. So yes, we're left with 4 people who are known to have been on the bridge at this stage who have not been recovered. And the latest from the authorities in Baltimore today is they believe, unfortunately, the vehicles, I should say, those 4 were in, are believed to have been crushed underneath the remains of the bridge as it fell. So they are essentially entombed on the bottom of the river. That's not exactly the latest news, though. We were getting that early this morning, late last night. In terms of where things go now, we've had the horror and the sorrow of the actual crash and the collapse of the bridge and the search for the survivors. Now, of course, naturally, the attention begins to turn towards the investigation and then the recovery. And in terms of the investigation, we are learning some interesting things. The investigators, which is the NTSB, your National Transport Security Board, have removed the black box, if you like, data recorder from the ship. They've been analysing that. That has already given us some interesting insights. And crucially, in terms of how I'm looking at this, analysing the information that we had in the very early hours of this disaster, looking at the live webcam that they have overlooking Baltimore Harbor, broadcasting 24 hours a day in high definition, high frame rate as far as webcams go. That was invaluable in terms of knowing what was happening. We also have AIS data, which is the automatic identification system that all large ships have, and just pumps out data all day about where the ship is, what it's doing, where it's going. And we will sort of mix those 2 sources of information together to get a clear picture of what happened, when and why. And then we get this fresh information from the U.S. government, from this black box, and it collaborates. It's all agreeing with each other. The timestamps are the same. The events we're seeing the same. So it gives us confidence when we're talking about what happened and why, that actually what we're discussing is true.
Do you know if the ship was up to code, whatever that means? Was the ship in proper operating condition before the crash, I guess is what I'm saying?
A very important question. So marine law, there is a sort of a standard baseline which is done through the United Nations. It has a maritime organisation that's based in London, coincidentally. That's part of Britain's sort of rich maritime heritage. It ended up here. And that sets a real baseline for ships worldwide. And the standards are relatively high. Now, the degree to which it is applied varies, of course. The United States, as you would expect of an industrialized nation, a first world nation, applies those rules relatively strictly. It inspects merchant ships that come into its waters, as do the United Kingdom, European and states, etc. What we do know, and we've been told this by the U.S. government, is that as far as we're aware, this ship was up to code. Its certificates were in place. Indeed, we're told it even had an engine, either engine inspection or an engine maintenance period while it was in Baltimore. Now, what does that mean to us? Does that mean the engine was absolutely definitely in good condition when it left Baltimore? Or does that mean that the engine had work done on it while in Baltimore and maybe that work wasn't done properly? Now, I'm not presupposing what the investigation will find, but here's a really good parallel for this. Just 2 months ago, a British warship in the Gulf, in the Middle East, had an engine swap while it was alongside at one of our, I think it was possibly in Qatar, one of our allies in the Gulf there. And when the engine was reinstalled for this maintenance, the control systems were basically installed backwards. So when the ship attempted to leave the side of the harbour for the first time, the captain on the bridge would have put the ship into full ahead. Instead, it went full astern, and the ship drove at relatively high speed into another ship and caused a lot of damage. Now, I'm not saying this is necessarily a parallel to what happened in Baltimore, but when I saw today that the ship had received a period of maintenance inside Baltimore Harbor, my immediate thought is, good grief, is it possible somebody didn't put something back together again properly? But to know that, we may possibly have months while the investigation goes on. So at this stage, this is purely supposition on my behalf.
You mentioned the traffic cams, and I had seen one of those that was like sped up 8 times. And, you see the lights go out, you see the lights come in. I assume that's power going out, power coming back on. But then it looks like the boat, the cargo ship takes a hard right directly into that pier. Is that anything that you think looked weird if you saw that, or is that just trying to gain control? I think that's the biggest question here is it a hack? Is it an attack? Is it a mechanical failure? We have no information. And honestly, I think if it was a hack by another country, we'll never know. So it's really, in your experience, what do you think happened based off of what you've gathered so far?
Well, you'd certainly like to think, wouldn't you, if it was something like a hack, the government would be good enough to tell us the truth. I'll make no further comment on that. You can make your own mind up there. But in terms of like this data that we have, I call that high definition video, which we've all seen, as you say, in many cases it's sped up because people have a short attention span, and that's how video on social media works. But in the very early hours after that disaster happened on Tuesday, I went through that video, not just at ×1 speed, I went through it frame by frame, timing the exact time that various events happened, and I have I've really comprehensively analysed everything you can possibly see in that. And you're absolutely right. The ship does take a turn. When it's approaching the bridge and it enters from the left of the view of the camera, we're talking about 5 minutes before the impact happens. The ship is slab side onto the viewer. The camera is, of course, stationary, doesn't move. It's based on the land. So your perspective is fixed, and you can really tell what's happening with the ship. As I say, it's slab side on. You can see its starboard side. Then as those moments progress, the ship turns, and you can see that perspective shortens, and by the time it hits the bridge, it's basically head on to the viewer. So it has engaged in, for a ship of that size, a relatively tight starboard turn. Now, thinking about the other things we can see, 4 minutes and 20 seconds, pretty much exactly before the point of impact, all of the lights on the ship go out. That is extremely unusual. This should never happen. What does this tell us? It means they've had a total failure of power on board. How does that happen? A ship of this size has its primary diesel engine, which is providing the electrical power to turn the propeller. It also has something like 3 or 4 other backup generators on board. They're doing other jobs. They're powering the hydraulics for the bow thruster, for the rudder at the rear, which of course helps with does the steering. The bow thruster helps with steering as well. It's the onboard power systems, the lights, the accommodation, etc. on board. All of this is done by electricity. So to lose absolutely all power at once means that somehow all of those generators are down at the same time, or there's an electrical fault. So like I say, there are redundant systems. There's a lot going on here. To lose all power on board is a catastrophic failure, and there are so many layers of just in case that are built into a ship like this. It's remarkable that happened. So the ship is without power. Totally, we can see that for about 1 minute and 10 seconds by my reckoning. It then has a limited power restore at approximately 26 minutes past 1 Eastern time, 26 minutes and 30 seconds by my reckoning. And the power is clearly coming on and off, as I guess they're really trying to battle against whatever the problem actually is. And that's the problem I have to emphasize. We don't know what started this. You mentioned, just before I started talking, you said, some people are talking about terrorism, some people are talking about cyber attacks. Obviously, we have no evidence of this, but we don't have evidence of anything else either. We know what happened. What we don't know is what was the initial causational factor. Was it an attack? Was it bad fuel? Was it bad maintenance? We just don't know yet.
We are speaking with Breitbart News London Bureau Chief Oliver Lane on the shipping container that collapsed the Key Bridge in Boston. So, Oliver, what's next? What does this mean for the supply chain? What does this mean for the economy?
Great question. So obviously there are different layers to the way in which this is going to impact the US. On a really shallow sort of level, you've lost a major road. It's an interstate that goes across Boston Harbor. Yeah. On that sort of low level, there are other ways to get across the river there. This is on the major corridor between New York and Washington, D.C. Even President Joe Biden said he's taking the train across that bridge. I mean, I'm not sure how we manage that. Right. It's a road bridge only, yes. But indeed. But the point is, this is an important thoroughfare. You can get around. There are other bridges, there are other tunnels, but that's pushing traffic into the city. And that's going to be hell for people who live there. Yeah. Or you can go around the city. You can send those 18-wheelers making deliveries across the East Coast, around the back of Baltimore. But that's adding time. That's adding delay. This is extra friction, if you like, inside your logistics system. That's inflationary. Now let's think about the port itself. This is not the largest port in the US, but it's one of the largest ports. I think it's the 17th. It's the third largest in the Northeast. And by the way, it's the number one port in the United States for the import of cars and light vehicles and agricultural machinery, because it has it's like a center of excellence, if you like, for roll-on, roll-off traffic, rather than vehicles being craned on and off cars. They just drive on and drive off huge ramps. It has the facilities for that, and it is now closed. Really other important thing to consider is this. The global shipping system is run on very tight margins. It's very efficient. That's how they keep prices down. What does that mean? That means there is no spare capacity in the system. It's not like the other across the US can say, okay, well, we'll just take 5% extra ships this year. There isn't 5% extra capacity in the system. So what we're going to start seeing is, just like you saw during COVID, do you remember that? Queues of ships outside US ports. This adds delays. This adds uncertainty. This adds inflation. This is all inflationary. This is all bad for the economy. Linking this to what we saw in the Red Sea. This is the best example of all of this. The Houthis, who are an Iran-backed Shiite militia group, they're terrorists, have been attacking ships in the Red Sea for 6 months now. Yeah. What have we seen from that? Shipping prices going up, insurance soaring. In some cases, ships have actually been lost to the Houthi attacks. But what's the impact of that? The best example is this. The Tesla factory in Germany, they have a factory out there building electric cars, of course, had to shut down for 3 weeks. They sent everybody home, I think without pay, for 3 weeks because they didn't have enough parts to build the cars because they were being imported by sea from China. That is the sort of situation you're looking at when you talk about delays to shipping. It's not just your Amazon parcel being delayed a couple of days. This is guys being laid off at work because they can't get enough components to build trucks. That's what you've got to watch out for.
His name is Oliver Lane. He's Breitbart's London bureau chief and an expert with a deep understanding of maritime procedure. Oliver, it's an honor to talk to you. Thanks. I know it's pretty late over there in London, and enjoy your weekend. We'll talk to you soon.
It's never too late to talk about ships. Thanks for having me on.
Matt Baer, sorry we're late. Let's take a look at traffic.
All right, Nigel, looking at northbound 465 coming out of the north split stop and go traffic up to 21st. Inbound 65 also slow. MLK to Meridian Penn. Eastbound 70 loaded, slow from Tibbs Avenue into the south split. Stop and go up to the Washington Street exit as you exit north. And on the south side, eastbound 465 slow after Kentucky Avenue to the White River. Northbound 37 is stopped. Epler Avenue up to 465. Crash Keystone Avenue north of 38th. Crash west side. Lyndhurst Drive south of Washington. That's at Chelsea. Crash downtown. Madison Avenue at McCarty Street. And Greenfield State Road 9 closed north of I-70. That's at 300 north because of a crash. Traffic sponsored by Staples Stores. Staples Stores provide innovative products and services for small business, remote workers and learners, even teachers and parents. Explore more at your local Staples store. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
56 at the American Standard Heating Weather Center, 93 WIBC. If you're thinking about a new custom concrete project for your home, whether, a new patio, sidewalk, porch, don't do anything until you've checked out IndieDecorativeConcrete.com. My sidewalk and porch were busted. I mean, they were falling apart and needed completely replaced. And like a dummy, I was going to go with the basic, regular, generic concrete that looked the same as before. But thank God for my wife. She was like, hey, let's check these guys out. They're locally owned. They've been around since 2007. And Mark and Jamie, they're the owners. Not only do they run a great
custom concrete business, but they're great people. Everyone who works for them is a W-2 employee. There's no subs coming to your house. In fact, our project manager was the owner's son. Got the job done in 3 days, and I was completely blown away at what they did in terms of taking a basic sidewalk and porch and turn it into a custom stamped concrete area with even more space and an absolutely awesome, unique look. IndieDecorativeConcrete.com. Tell them Nigel sent you.
My husband, Bob, has Parkinson's, and he needs more help now, and I need more support to help him. Thanks to Indiana Pathways for Aging, we're getting the support we need to help him right here at home, like with meal prep and basic personal care, and even respite support for me.
Pathways provides Hoosier Medicaid members, age 60 and over, support for care their way, so they can live life their way. Eligible members can select a plan now. Call 87-PATHWAY-4 or visit in.gov/pathways.
Your home is your sanctuary. Get the peace of mind you deserve with a free estimate on a Generac automatic standby generator for your home from Generator Supercenter, the nation's #1 Generac generator dealer. With expert installation and 24-hour monitoring, Generator Supercenter won't leave you in the dark. Financing is available. Take control of your power today with Generator Supercenter. Call 317-827-0808. Generator Supercenter of Indianapolis, 317-827-0808.
Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare information guide absolutely free. Call 800-919-3200. That's 800-919-3200. 800-919-3200.
Inside Indiana Business Radio, the news you need to get ahead. Indiana's business news leader, weekdays at 6:32 a.m. and 5:56 p.m. on WIBC.
Everyone knows that soaking in Epsom salts can make you feel better. Now imagine soaking in Epsom salts in a Royal Spa hot tub.
Ah, Royal Spa.
Plumbing problems stink. The LD Smith Group can handle anything. Call today for $50 off any plumbing repair, big or small.
LD Smith Plumbing.
A dirty, stinking honest.
Are you really okay with this?
Are you okay? Everything's gonna be okay.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
I'm pretty far from okay.
Are you okay with this? On the Hammer and Nigel.
Oh, yeah!
Jerry Lopez, Indy Spanglish, in for Jason Hammer. My name is Nigel. All right, we'll start with this. Atlanta Police and Fire and Rescue just saved 2 trans women who climbed a 250-foot crane and taped themselves to it. When I say taped themselves to it, it looked like they almost made casts around their arms and taped themselves to this metal crane. They were protesting construction of Cop City in Forest near Atlanta. They protested cops and then were rescued by cops. Here's a little bit of that audio.
My concern, if they love you, they wouldn't have you 100 feet up in the air. I'm just going to be honest with you. All right. So that's not love.
You're going to hear them chanting, "We love you," down at the bottom of the crane.
Love is safety. Love is care. Love is kind. And you still be able to push your agenda of what you're trying to get us to do. It's not love to fall backwards and fall down there. It's instant death. So all I'm asking y'all guys, we're cut. That's what we do. That's what we get paid to do, is cut, right? So y'all guys have made it up to the top. Y'all got the crowd. Everybody's happy. They're satisfied with you at this point. There's no need to put yourself in a situation if we're cutting and we can't carry you down and you drop 100 feet from the ground and snap your neck on this metal.
All right, we got it. Are you okay with any of this, Jerry?
I mean, a couple of things, right? I think we talked about this earlier. I think they should just be left in place. If you glue yourself to the road or to a painting or something, just leave you there. You're now part of the painting.
Right.
You're right. You're now part. This is Washington Street and Jerry Road, right? But they're 2 trans women, and I support strong women, so I would have thought they could untape themselves.
They were, again, the irony, they're protesting cops, but they're being rescued by cops and putting the cops' lives in danger, the police and the fire rescue lives in danger, they physically had a buzzsaw or whatever you call it, like you would saw a cast off. They were sawing into these trans women's arms that had tape around them. I mean, they're putting everybody's life in danger.
We hate you. Help us.
Okay. Do you remember the 70s sitcom Good Times?
I didn't watch it, but I have heard of it. Very popular.
I mean, it's about. It's basically TV. It was TV's first African American.
Just moving on up.
No,
what is that? That's Jefferson's.
That's Jefferson's. I'm talking about Good Times is with JJ Dynamite, Jimmy Walker.
Have heard of it.
Right? It was TV's first African American two-parent family sitcom.
Okay.
Well, there's a new R-rated reboot of Good Times. It hits Netflix next month. It's nothing like the original, except they are the current Evans family. For example, it features a precocious drug-dealing baby. Here's part of the trailer.
I have important news.
They want to cut you a disability check for your face. Hold up. You can get paid for that?
This is from a fool who stares at his orange juice every morning.
It says concentrate on the box. Who the dummy now? Me for not wearing a condom. It all started with my grandfather, James Evans. My job as the man of this house is to take care of this family no matter what.
I just want to let you know I'm going to take good care of Gray.
Juan, my boyfriend. Daddy, let him go.
Baby, she come with me.
Junior's repeating the 10th grade for the 3rd time.
Is there anything you can suggest to help him get to the drive-thru?
Can you do OnlyFans? Take off your shoes. Let me see what kind of feet you working with.
Is that Wanda Sykes?
So it sounded like it. So the animated R-rated version of the 70s sitcom Good Times on Netflix. Are you okay with this?
I probably am okay with it just because I don't remember Good Times. If I knew Good Times, I probably would.
Well, you remember J.J. Walker.
Yeah.
Dynamite. That's all I remember from Good Times in the 70s.
Remember the animated movie Bebe's Kids?
Yes.
This is what that sounds like.
You think so?
Yeah.
Okay, one more here real quick. Let's see. An Illinois grandma graduated when she was in her 30s, but she's still paying off her student loan at 71.
Jeez.
Here is Nancy.
I'm hoping I'm going to get a good job and I'm going to make money and I'll do whatever I need to pay this back. And the interest compounds and compounds. So every penny I don't pay, it goes.
Yeah, her loan became so high because she was just doing some income-based payments, which, allowed you to pay less than the interest that is adding up. Are we okay with this? Should we set up a GoFundMe for Granny?
I mean, that sucks.
It does
That
suck. It's awful. 71 years old.
And you know what? That seems predatory, too. You can make payments that are less than the interest.
Yeah.
You're setting yourself up for this.
Hey, coming up next, Rob Kendall going off the rails. Before that, it's the news. 93 WIBC.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
A threat against a school. You've got 57 right now, mostly clear radar. I'm Donnie Burgess. Here's what's trending at 5:30. He shared alarming messages on social media.
And now he's sitting in jail. I'm Ryan Hedrick. Carson Cole from Brownsburg posted on Snapchat that he was going to shoot up Tri-West Hendricks High School.
Which led many members of the community to be in fear that that man would come to Tri-West High School and carry out a violent and deadly attack.
Captain Amanda Goings with the Hendricks County Sheriff's Office says, which then led investigators straight to Cole, who they arrested on Wednesday night. Ryan Hedrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky is asking Congress to deliver critical aid to Kyiv in its war with Russia. Zelensky briefed House Speaker Mike Johnson on the battlefield situation today, warning of Ukraine's dwindling resources and Russia's advances. He said quick passage of aid by Congress is vital. There was an explosion in Fort Wayne Thursday. Sasha Nixon has what you need to know.
First responders say the explosion happened at a facility owned by Brooks Construction on Ardmore Avenue around 2:30 p.m. There was also a fire, but it was soon extinguished. Thankfully, no injuries have been reported so far. At this time, though, it is not clear what caused the incident. Sasha Nixon, 93, WIBC Mobile News.
You're paying an average of $3.45 a gallon for gas today, says AAA. The cheapest gas is in Anderson at $2.45 a gallon. Speaking of cars, imagine a highway that could charge your electric car as you drive. That's becoming a reality in West Lafayette as Purdue and the Indiana Department of Transportation begin installing charging panels and wires in US 231.
I would say our goal is just for something like this to be successful, something to, maybe perhaps inspire innovative ideas of other kinds.
Blake Dollier with NDOT says the project should be fully complete by the summer of next year as long as weather cooperates. And with traffic, how are the roads, Matt Bear?
Slow down here. Look at a southbound 65 stop and go MLK down to Meridian Penn. And northbound 6570 is loaded up right now. South split to the north split. You continue north and your stop and go up to 21st. And that slows down eastbound 70. That's jamming from Belmont into the south split. On the east side, northbound 465. This is Lawrence. Slow from 70 up to East 56th Street, then to 71st, inbound 69, stop and go 106 282nd. And out in Greenfield, a crash closing State Road 9 at 300 North. That's north of I-70. Traffic sponsored by Royal Spa. Everyone knows that soaking in Epsom salts can make you feel better. Now imagine soaking in Epsom salts in a Royal Spa hot tub. RoyalSpa.com. Royal Spa. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for Instant Traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And now the forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
Expecting a mostly cloudy Thursday night with the potential for a few sprinkles, lows in the low 40s. Then for Friday, we're in for a marvelous and bright end to the work week with highs in the upper 60s. Then we'll bring back rain chances by late Friday night. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Stephen Deanna for 93 WIBC.
And I'm Donnie Burgess on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
I want you to get up right now and go to the window, open it, and stick your head out and yell, "I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore!"
And now, Hammer and Nigel go off the rails with Rob Kendall.
Noise pollution.
My name is Nigel. Jerry Lopez filling in for Jason Hammer. And look who decided to call in on his day off to go off the rails. Rob Kendall from the Kendall and Casey Show. How are you?
I'm great. Thanks, as always, to our segment sponsor, Garage Doors of Indianapolis. I'm currently having a fight with the birds in my backyard, Nigel. They have had an obsession this spring with trying to build a nest in my awning.
I heard about that.
They are like it is like a Hitchcock episode out here. It's like there's like 9 of them now. And I've told them I'm not giving up.
Didn't you open the back door late one night because they set off your motion detectors and you went out there with a gun?
That may have happened, okay? That might have happened. And this is my dad's quest. Every day he's over at my house at least 3 times a day with his stick, knocking this nest down. It's the most Brownsburg thing ever.
That is the most Brownsburg thing ever, for sure. Tons to get to today. A few house cleaning things I want to take care of. Meltdown Madness is finally over, and I'm sad to see it go. And unfortunately, Bavacqua lost. The Tommy Lasorda rant that you and your co-host Casey were trying to rig this matchup. It did not work. Bob Knight's famous rant blew it away.
Well, I knew we should not have left a woman in charge of the show today, and I knew she wasn't going to be able to deliver the proper bowel harvesting necessary to get Bavacqua across the finish line. We had a good run, though. It's very rare you see a 10 seed do as well as old Bavacqua did. So I guess, better luck next year.
Jerry, I guess the honest question is anybody ever going to beat the Bob Knight rant, or is it time to just hang that up from the rafters and retire?
Oh, yeah, it's going to retire for sure.
That's undefeated
If we
season.
ever do this again, he's retired for sure. Did you hear, while I got you here, Jerry, did you hear AI Rob's rendition of the Bob Knight rant?
No.
Does anybody mind if I play that real quick? This is AI Rob Kendall in his version of the Bob Knight rant.
If you're not going to recover Greg Graham, if you're just going to let him drive by you, if the rest of you are going to let him catch the ball outside the 3-second lane and drive all the way in here without one guy challenging him, then I'm leaving and you guys can run until you can't even suffer. Now, I'm tired of this shit. I'm sick and tired of a 8-10 record. I'm tired of losing to Purdue. I'm not here to around this week. Now, you maybe, but I'm not.
Man, this AI really puts in, like, believe none of what you hear and half of what you see.
Rob,
like,
that was Rob Kendall, AI Rob, and doing Bob Knight's locker room rant, which won Meltdown Madness on the Hammer and Nigel show. Rob, sorry, better luck next year, buddy.
Well, my favorite part is the bad grammar at the end. You may be, but I'm not.
All right. Before we get to last night's governor's debate, you had something really interesting yesterday on your program with Jamie Ritenour, the only candidate for governor that wasn't allowed on the debate stage last night on Wish TV. Can you just tell me a little bit about, you called it a debate. It wasn't really a debate, but I mean, you were here in full suit and tie. She would just tell me, I mean, it was super interesting. Tell me what you did, why you did it, who Jamie is, and why you guys did that yesterday.
Yeah, so we called it the diversity debate because the Fox 59 CBS 4 debate on Tuesday, they told the two black candidates who qualified to run for governor, Curtis Hill and Jamie Ritenour, that they didn't meet some arbitrary polling or donor threshold, so they were kicked off the stage. And, of course, the Republican Party, who they're such hypocrites. I mean, they're so disingenuous. They claim, oh, we've got to get more diverse. We've got to get more minorities involved in the party. They even have a diversity leadership series. So
I was in it, Rob. I was in that series.
Did you graduate?
Yeah. So I said something to them yesterday. I said, how does the Republican Party reconcile having a leadership diversity series and not allowing the two black candidates? And you know what I was told? The GOP is not in charge of that. They passed the buck completely.
Well, yeah, no, they're right. The Indiana Republicans aren't in charge.
But they could have had a stance. They could have put something out.
So you're saying what Rob said,
yeah.
You know, they could have taken a stance.
Maybe you're not
on
in charge, but all the candidates could have said, this is not right in the name of diversity. Like,
yeah, well, this is, and Spanglish is right. The Republican Party in Indiana doesn't actually care about black people or minorities. They just want more votes. I mean, they don't care at all. They allowed what is this, 1955? They allowed the two black candidates who qualified to run for governor. They met the incredible high threshold of getting those signatures, which shows organization. It shows the ability to fundraise. It shows, you know, you can garner organization, and yet they allowed them to be kicked off the stage. So we said, since nobody loves diversity more than the Kendall and Casey show, let's have the diversity debate. Now, Curtis Hill was also invited, but you know how Curtis is, and Spanglish, you know this as well. Curtis still really wants to be liked by the establishment. He was told that if you go to that thing, you'll be lowering yourself down to participating with Jamie Ritenour, who you're above, and you'll be ostracized because you'll be giving credibility to Rob Kendall. So Curtis is going to get 4% on Election Day and lose, but at least I guess he'll have some gravitas in the establishment. He decided not to show up. Jamie Ritenour did show up, and that thing was great yesterday. She got a lot of votes based on her performance yesterday.
Yeah, well, I will say this. Maybe Curtis Hill was preparing for the televised debate that was on later last night.
What is there to prepare for? Like, you don't know your stances on stuff. Like, what do you like? You need a refresher on how you're going to fix property taxes, which none of them have a plan still. I mean, none of them have an actual plan to fix property taxes. But look, we wanted to prove a point, though, of the hypocrisy and the disingenuous nature of the Indiana Republican Party, which is they don't actually care about black people. They don't actually want to promote minorities. They don't want to promote diversity. They just want more votes and more money.
I'm just making sure you're still a Republican in good standing, though, right? Did we clear that up?
The state treasurer Daniel Elliott tells me that every time I see him, and I know it chaps the ass of all the power structure. But yes, I always vote in the Republican primaries. There's no way I'd miss that.
Let me just play for you real quick my favorite part of that debate last night. And by the way, I nodded off, like I fell asleep and the debate was over because I watched it after we put the kids to bed. So that's how compelling it was for me. But I was awake when they were talking about DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion. And it starts with Crouch, former member or still current member of the Holcomb administration. And then Hill dings her, and I love her response. And I just want to play this for everybody real quick.
What should Indiana's role be in DEI programs? And what would you keep the state? Would you keep the state the DEI officer? Ms. Crouch.
DEI is divisive, it's exclusionary, and it is absolutely not inclusive.
Mr. Hill, what should Indiana's role be in DEI programs?
Well, I'm glad that all my opponents have jumped on the bandwagon because months ago I came out with a proposal that on my first day in office we would eliminate the Office of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion, and we maintain that. It's interesting to me that the Lieutenant Governor is suggesting that DEI is divisive, but it's her administration that has put this position in place.
Ms. Crouch, you were referenced. You have 30 seconds to respond.
No.
Did you hear that at the end? She just said no. No, do you want to respond to that? No. I was on the floor rolling, laughing. What did you think about that clip?
Well, that's why we call her Silent Suzanne, because what's she going to say? I mean, again, disingenuous, totally hypocritical, that she said nothing while Holcomb did all this stuff, and then now you're led to believe that she's going to be like the Grinch that stole Christmas and find the strength of 10 conservatives plus 2. I mean, that was by far the best debate in the sense of Phil Sanchez and the other moderator did a phenomenal job. They got the most out of these people, but my goodness, again, how laborious and boring is that collective, and you're not going to get anything meaningful whatsoever, nothing meaningful from these people. They're all going to grow government. They're all going to raise taxes. They have no plan or no specifics on what they're going to do other than crouch with this axe the tax, but no idea how she's going to pay for it. And so that's your future of the Republican Party. More government, more taxes.
You did see a more concerted effort of the candidates going after Mike Braun. Would you agree?
Yeah, but it's so weak. And somebody told me this that's pretty high up in the party, told me this. They said the reason you're not seeing that is that all of those people think he's going to win, and they all, because they're so addicted to being in the government or being a power player as a part of the government, or because of their business dealings that are dependent upon the government, that they're not going to piss him off. And so that's why they're being very reserved in the challenging of him. My favorite part, can I just tell you my favorite part of the whole debate last night?
Yeah.
So Eric Doden, what a wimp that guy is. So he's been spending, I mean, he may have spent $1 million at this point running negative ads against Mike Braun. He's really the only guy that's put any sort of offense against Braun. Braun goes at him over some sort of, it was like the ethics, ethics violation allegation or something dating back, I think, to when he was the IEDC director. I don't remember the specifics of it, but Braun makes a veiled shot at him, and Doden basically turns to him and begs him to stop being mean to him on the debate stage.
Wow.
And
I remember.
It's like, really? That's how you're going to fight for the taxpayers of Indiana? That's how you're going to go against the supermajorities in the House and Senate to get tax reform or property tax relief or whatever? Please, Mike Braun, I know I've spent hundreds of thousands of dollars ripping you, but please stop being mean to me.
He did. I will say, and I heard Doden on your show, was it this week or last week? I really liked him. I liked what he had to say. I liked the things and ideas that he had in place. And I will give him credit last night. He did ding Braun on the whole qualified immunity for police allowing to be sued.
But there's just no fight. There's no, you don't look at any of those people and go, oh, my gosh, they are so going to go to the mat for taxpayers. And that's what it's going to take. You have a supermajority in the House and Senate run by the Flanders boys, Rod Bray and Todd Houston, that are addicted to big government and big spending. And the next governor, if he's going to get anything done, is going to have to buck the party and is going to have to challenge the party. And you don't see that from any of these people, any of them other than Rittenhour, who they kicked off the debate stage.
I thought it was pretty funny when everybody's trying to prove they're an outsider.
Yeah.
Well, none of them are.
Yeah.
It's laughable. And I know this really chaps Curtis's backside that I say he's not. He was the sitting attorney general. Like, none of these people are outsiders. None of them. Chambers and Doden were the most powerful appointed position in state government. Suzanne Crouch has been there since the earth was young. Braun, obviously, it was a school board member and then a state rep and a U.S. senator. None of these people are outsiders.
Except for Rittenhour, who was not allowed on stage.
So why wasn't she allowed on there last night, Rob?
I don't know whether there's a polling threshold or a donor threshold or whatever, but basically what you're saying is with the donor threshold thing just tickles me because it's like, well, we all say we want to get money out of politics and we don't want our politicians being bought and sold. But if we're going to set amount of money raised as a threshold, then we are saying that we are going to judge the validity of candidates based on how much butt they can kiss, and that just doesn't make any sense to me. So I don't know what the threshold was last night, but they qualified to run for governor. They met the threshold, They met the threshold based on getting those signatures. And we were told in the John Rust case, well, we have to have these safeguards. We have to have legitimate Republicans running for statewide public office. We have to have the signature in the 2 Republican primary voting threshold to ensure that these are valid Republicans running. Well, she meets that, and then they say, nah, you're not allowed to debate.
Hey, Rob, can you stick around for one more segment?
Absolutely.
All right, more Going Off the Rails with Rob Kendall here on the Hammer and Nigel Show next.
This is the most exciting time of the year, and we want you to go all the way, even if your team doesn't. March on, Indiana, in a Hubler quality pre-owned vehicle. Shop any of Hubler's 12 locations and choose from over 1,000 vehicles. Chevys, Fords, GMCs, Buicks, Nissans, Acuras, Mazdas, Hondas, and many more. All makes, all models, certified vehicles, luxury vehicles, even the hard-to-find ones. Every Hubler Q-certified vehicle is covered by a 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty, plus a 128-point vehicle inspection and a free Carfax history report. Hubler's got you covered for 100,000 miles. Busted brackets not included. So what drives Indiana? DriveHubler.com. For over 1,000 vehicles, visit any of our 12 locations.
Hubler's got you covered.
Warranty on select models less than 9 years old.
What people suffering from nasal breathing, snoring, and sleep apnea problems want is for their issues to be fixed. And at Advent, that is precisely what we do. Here, there are no Band-Aids, but there is a thorough approach to get to the root of your problem. And in tens of thousands of cases, finding simple solutions, which are undeniably effective, have made remarkably positive impacts on people's lives. I'm Dr. Madan Kandula. For years, patients have been traveling literally from around the world to come to us to find what no one else has been able to give them. And that's why now we've come closer to you.
If your quality of life has been diminished because of nasal breathing, snoring, or sleep apnea problems, and you don't know who to turn to, go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better.
Breathe well with simple solutions. Breathe well with simple solutions. AdventKnows.com.
Results may vary.
Garage Doors of Indianapolis has been a local, family-owned and operated business for nearly 50 years and helps keep Central Indiana's economy strong by employing over 70 families. Garage Doors of Indianapolis stands by their products and services while they share and embrace our conservative values. So when you have garage door problems, call them today for service today. Garage Doors of Indianapolis, 875-4577, 875-4577, or visit doorstoday.com.
Gravely's Mow the Distance sales event is back. Now through April 8th, you can save up to 25% with special financing available on America's most rugged mowers, including the Gravely ZT HD. It's the residential mower built to commercial standards with the power, durability, and high performance Gravely is known for. With a Gravely, you can count on more comfort, more speed, and more precision. But hurry, these special Mow the Distance savings are only available through April 8th and only at your authorized Gravely dealer.
Pizza's here. Oh, great. I'd love some, but I'm worried about my stomach issues.
If you're worried about having diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools, it may not just be stomach issues. It could be a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Do you need air conditioning service and need to find a local well-trained expert you can trust, like Family Heating and Air Conditioning? Find that American Standard Air dealer at IndyHomeComfort.com.
Check the Wendy's app for crazy burger deals. Limited time offer at participating U.S. Wendy's. Redeem in Wendy's app. Account registration required. See offer in Wendy's app for details.
Matt Bear, what's going on with traffic?
All right, Nigel, look at State Road 9 shut down both directions, and that's going to be 300 County Road 300 Greenfield, and that's just north of I-70 closed because of a crash. Also, Dean Road is 79th on the northeast side. That is a crash reported with injury and entrapment. Eastbound 465 stop and go traffic Keystone to Allisonville Road. Southbound Keystone Parkway stop and go coming out of Carmel 116th Street past 106. Westbound 465 slow from Meridian over to Michigan, and on the northwest side, northbound 65 is slow again from 465 up to 86. Traffic sponsored by Indy Decorative Concrete. Indy's leader in patio installation is now offering a new driveway package. Schedule a free estimate today at IndyDecorativeConcrete.com. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
56 at the American Standard Heating Weather Center, 93 WIBC. My name is Nigel. That's Jerry Lopez. Got about 60 to 90 seconds here left. Still going off the rails with Rob Kendall. And I just want to know, what the hell are you doing taking a day off? 2 days off. I mean, you took a day off last week. And now today, like, I'm the guy that takes the day off. In fact, I'm taking a whole week off. What's your excuse?
Well, I'm really an innocent victim in all of this, in the fact that my wife had a work trip. And, my dad watched Olivia one day and her mom watched Olivia one day. And then there was 2 days unaccounted. And so I was either going to bring her in and let Casey watch her while I do the show. I asked Gabrielle one I said, don't you think she'd be all right on her own for just a few hours? So I can come and do this?
Just lock her in a studio.
Lock her in your office. She'll be fine.
I guarantee if Terry Stacy was there, she would have totally watched her. But we decided probably best for all involved if I just take a couple days off.
Rob, who do you want to thank?
I want to thank Garage Doors of Indianapolis, the best darn garage door company in the entire land. And you guys, I'm so thrilled that Spanglish graduated the Diversity and Equity Leadership Series that's bearing such fruit for the state republic.
Hey, so instead of diversity and equity and inclusion, it's now going to stand for didn't earn it.
Wow! And with that, we're out, ladies and gentlemen. Rob, have a great weekend. We'll talk to you next week. It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Business. It's not a 9-to-5 proposition. It's all day and into the night. It's all the things that keep this world turning. And behind every one of these businesses is a partner like Comcast Business helping to keep it all moving. It's why the local flower shop and your favorite pizza joint, the startup and the stadium, hospitals and hotels, banks and restaurants nationwide. All these businesses choose the advanced network, cybersecurity solutions, and round-the-clock trusted partnership from Comcast Business. From Main Street to Wall Street, our people are powering the businesses that power it all. So when you're ready to unlock what's possible for your business, there's no one better to answer the call. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Restrictions apply. Call or visit ComcastBusiness.com to learn more.
Come on, Indy. Don't use the spring to paint your house year after year. Do what Deanna did. She called Rhino Shield.
I was noticing some cracks and the paint's faded. I was like, okay, I think I should get my house painted. So my neighbor had a Rhino Shield placard in the yard. And after they were finished, I was just, wow. With the warranty and everything, it just seemed silly not to go that route.
The ceramic coating of Rhino Shield is specifically formulated for our climate.
So the Rhino Shield crew came out. Nothing was damaged in the process. I was very happy. They just didn't leave a mess. You couldn't even tell they were there. And the house looked so different. It just looked like a new home.
Backed by a 25-year transferable warranty. And now get the protection of Rhino Shield for 15% off the regular price.
Rhino Shield, I think it increases the value and the curb appeal of your home. Definitely worth it.
Here's Rhino Shield's Shane Smith.
This offer is limited, so call me at 888-RHINO-41. That's 888-RHINO-41.
Don't paint.
Don't vinyl.
Go Rhino.
Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at getethos.com. That's getethos.com.
BoerRemodeling.com, serving Central Indiana for 23 years. These are your kitchen and bathroom remodeling specialists. When you're ready to make the change, they're ready for you. It's a new year, so it's time to get it done. That kitchen, that heart of the home, the bathroom, a place where you can actually relax and build instant equity in your home. 317-852-5546 or online at Boer, BOOHER, BoerRemodeling.com.
Cancer's worst gets our best. Franciscan Health is a